The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
What?
let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers,
You pig!
damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Sport!
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome. On this, it's a New World Wednesday, May 29, 2024. This program starts right now. Sports are awesome. Sports are fantastic. Sports are something that keep the world together whenever times are trying and times are tough. Everybody can rally, and sports give people motivation to strive for something much bigger than themselves. And currently, we are joined by the greatest trophy in all of sport. Ladies and gentlemen, Lordo, the Stanley Cup is here.
Lordo!
That's the shoot, brother.
Yeah.
Mira brought it in here, the first ever woman full-time Stanley Cup
Keeper of the cup.
keeper
Yeah,
of the
there
cup.
it is.
She came from Toronto.
Oh.
From Toronto.
Big city.
Came in today. Shout out to the NHL making this happen. Now, there are a lot of rules, obviously. This is not our first dance with Lordo. We've had him in here last year, but he was with Rupper, who's a Stanley Cup champion. So I was able to drink out of it, party with it, have time with it. Since nobody in here won a Stanley Cup, we're not allowed to do shit with this thing. Not even allowed to touch it. Can't look at it for too long. But I will say, it adds a nice sparkle.
Yes,
to the
it
thing.
does. Truly.
Welcome to the Thunderdome, Mira, and welcome to the Thunderdome, Lordo. Thank you for joining us, and obviously hockey will be a topic of conversation today because Lordo's here. And also, congrats to the Florida Panthers tying up the Eastern Conference Finals last night in overtime, thrilling fashion. 9-year NFL vet, Florida Panthers diehard superfan since the day he was born. Ladies and gentlemen, Darius Butler is here. D-Butch, nobody in South Florida is allowed to touch this thing.
Not yet. Not yet, and I won't jinx it, but a beautiful trophy, another beautiful game last night, some great playoff hockey. You mentioned another overtime. It was 3 overtime games now in the Eastern Conference Finals. Great game. Obviously, Rhino, Sam Reinhart with the quickest OT goal in team history last night. Great hands from Barkey as well, getting it to him, but great shot, great game, 2-2, never a doubt. Going back up to New York for a huge Game 5.
Yeah, it was about a minute into overtime. They end it and win it. And 3 straight games going to overtime. These two teams know a lot about each other. Physical. It's been a physical matchup. It's been everything that's good with hockey. If the Florida Panthers are able to get past this New York Rangers team, I think people would say, you know what, those people down in South Florida deserve to hoist Florida.
Absolutely.
It has not been an easy road here for this Florida Panthers team, and it's never going to be. That's why this trophy is so damn glorious. Reinhart's goal was the fastest to begin an overtime period in Panthers history. Reinhart is the NHL's power play goal leader this entire season. They had a power play, and a lot of Rangers fans aren't necessarily thrilled about that. The refs are certainly being called into question from people from New York, but that's how this goes. Congrats to the Panthers getting a big-time win, 2-2 in that particular series.
Here we go.
Also, they're not dead yet. Minnesota Timberwolves extend the series against the Dallas Mavericks last night down in Dallas. It is now 3-1. Luka did his thing. Kyrie did his thing. But welcome back Karl-Anthony Towns and Anthony Edwards into the national spotlight of conversation. That is a 3-1 series. Obviously, the stats say that no team has ever been able to come back from a 3-0 deficit in the playoffs of the NBA. But why not this Minnesota Timberwolves, who seemingly found their mojo last night? Anthony Edwards had a little bit of energy. Everything we loved about him at the beginning of the playoffs seemed to come back last night. And was Dallas just resting on their yawnies because they're up 3? Probably.
Yeah.
What'll happen in the next game, we shall see. If Minnesota can take this to a Game 7, obviously it'll be a massive convo. If they're able to win this series, it'll be historic. But if not, Dallas and Boston will be one that all eyes will look at. The talk table's here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. French Bulldog on your chest. That looks good.
Yeah, I figured the return of the dog, Ant-Man, it called for a nice dog shirt. It was great to see the T-Wolves be the T-Wolves again. Karl-Anthony Towns, you said it, 20 points in the second half. I'm not sure about the junk, a little talking junk, rather. post game. I don't know if that's great for the Timberwolves, just because Luka is one of those guys that when you are talking a lot of shit to him, he will come back and answer. It was the Phoenix Suns who were up 3-1, if you remember, I think 2 years ago, where Luka said, hey, it's easy to talk when you're up ahead and doing all that, and then inevitably Dallas would come back down 3-1 to win the series 4-3. So I'm not sure. Ant's very confident they're coming back to Dallas for Game 6. We'll see what happens, but it was great to see the T-Wolves be the T-Wolves again.
One half of the hammer, Dahn. Cowboys, Tone Diggs here. Tone, how you doing, pal?
Great, you?
Good, I'm good. Lorio's here.
Lorio's here.
I just went. Yep.
Wow.
That was going to happen. Probably going to do it again.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about jinxing the Penguins.
Yep, probably going to do it again. Yep.
Oh,
keep going.
You're in my world. You're in my world, Lorio. You're on my desk.
Sidney Crosby just got traded. It just happened.
Well, I got to touch that.
That is
all right. Now Malcolm got traded.
That is the risk.
No,
Malcolm just got traded too.
It's like doing this.
No.
It's like
Once it's done, it's done. It's like opening Pandora's box.
Wait till you see McDavid. He's coming to Pittsburgh. Boom.
Oh my God, that's Letang gone.
No, I just thought.
Yeah, boom. Mario Lemieux gone.
Tommy Barrasso just
Another
passed.
7 years. Missing the playoffs.
Tommy Barrasso's still alive.
Whoa.
That is not.
Is it Death Cup today?
There's a nice shirt you got
God.
on, though, too.
Thank you. The Allegheny Electric Company. Paul Skeens' birthday. Paul Skeens pitching today. Happy birthday, Paul Skeens. And happy. All right, let's get into it. Pittsburgh is the home.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of the greatest baseball player of all time.
Yes.
You can look at stats, because that's what baseball is stats. The greatest baseball player of all time played in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Where's he currently laying resting as a dead man?
Oh, he's in Allegheny Cemetery.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Pittsburgh is the home of baseball,
Yeah.
is basically what everybody's saying. And the MLB has made a decision to add statistics from a league that happened in the United States of America back in the 30s that white people were not allowed in. It was called
It was the Negro League. It was kind of like the opposite. We weren't allowed in.
Y'all.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Y'all, I didn't do any of this.
Come on.
I didn't watch baseball.
Kind of a
Nobody in my.
Pittsburgh.
You want to talk about
Here's
heritage?
gentleman's agreement.
Pittsburgh, we're like, we wanted a team in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
That's why we had the Homestead Grays. That obviously I've been a fan of since I was a kid. Tim and Sally McAfee used to tell me stories about the Homestead Grays and what they did for Pittsburgh. And Josh Gibson, the greatest baseball player ever. This is Josh.
Yep.
Born Georgia, became a Yinzer though. Okay, played for the Homestead Grays, buried there. He's the greatest baseball player to ever hold a bat. Okay, that's just what stats say. That's what MLB says. He played in a league. I'm not allowed to say it. I'm not allowed to say the name of the
That was the
league.
name of the league.
Yeah.
You can't.
Negro
You
League.
didn't. If you named the league, then
That'd be
maybe
it.
you wouldn't be allowed to. But you did it.
It's uncomfortable every time.
Yeah.
Fair.
Because when they were playing in the Negro League, it's because the whites were assholes.
Basically.
So Josh Gibson.
For sure.
So there's a lot of those stories throughout the history of the world, from what I'm learning, and we have learned, and as it continues to go. Josh Gibson, did he ever get to play in the MLB after playing?
No. He died very young. He had a brain tumor. So he died, I think, when he was like 45.
I think 35.
Yeah, it might have been 35. Satchel Paige was like another one of like the biggest stars from the Negro Leagues, and he eventually did get to play in the MLB, but most of these guys never got to actually play in the MLB.
I did do research too. The year he died, Jackie Robinson got into the MLB, to the league.
Okay, and the brain, which is obviously massive, the brain thing, I think he was told he could get it fixed, right, at one point?
Yeah, they could remove the tumor, and he pretty much said, like, nah, I'm not having brain surgery. All right, I'll just deal with the headaches. I think he went back and played again, and then eventually he died from a brain tumor.
So the brain surgery, he was worried he wouldn't be able to get as much contact on the ball.
Probably maybe reduces, hand-eye coordination, bat speed, all that kind of
surgery's a little
stuff.
different. Back end.
Yeah, 372 career batting average.
He's in the Buccos Hall of Fame, too.
Is he?
Damn right.
Hell yeah. See? Pittsburgh's been doing it right this whole time.
Well,
72, he went to Baseball Hall of Fame, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm. In Cooperstown.
Greatest of all time. Guys from Pittsburgh. Now we've got Paul Skeens and Jones, the Hundo boys, which actually I guess they're called the Allegheny Electric Company.
They're both
Which,
pitching.
I mean,
they're both pitching today.
Come on.
the Allegheny Electric Company.
Well, I
I'm
think
sorry.
that's the Pitching Ninjas logo right there, right? Is
that it?
Is the Pitching Ninja create this?
The Allegheny Lake.
What's wrong with the Hundo boys?
Yeah, or
I really like the Hundo boys, to be honest with you. They sent a great shirt, though. This feels pretty
Couple
good.
gas station attendants.
yeah, I was gonna say they can just be the gas station together, right? One's a gas pump, maybe. I don't know. The other is just the gas
I don't know if
can.
anybody wants me to know who's the pump, but
Well, like pumping guys out.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
The umpire.
you're pumping them
Yeah.
out.
There's that one guy we saw loves the gas pump.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
he's a pump and a jack.
Yeah, he's the leader
You know
of
what I
them.
mean?
Yeah, he's the full
Yeah, he's
situation.
doing.
Yeah, we
he's-
could find out that guy's name and
We can
just
make a logo
call
out of
those
that.
guys
Yeah,
his name.
So I do appreciate that the Pirates have sent us some merch here, and the Pulse Kings has some. Shirt fits great. I mean, obviously, next to Florida, it looks amazing, but the Pittsburgh area has been home to baseball this whole time.
Yeah.
And it's known as a hockey town, and obviously the Steelers run the town. But in the end, we got the greatest baseball player of all time from there, and Paul Skeens is about to be the best baseball player again.
Yeah.
So
Boom.
life is good in Pittsburgh. Now let's go to Cincinnati. 12-year NFL vet, Universal Records label signed rapper. Most recent single, All the Smoke, available now on all the platforms. Ladies and gentlemen, Pac-Man Jones. is here. Pac-Man, how you doing, pal?
What's up, brother? I'm doing good.
A lot of drama in Cincinnati.
A lot of drama.
Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, both not there. Joey Burrow's not on a pitch count, but he's obviously coming off a wrist injury. How do we feel about the Bengals? They're going to be just fine, huh?
We feel really good. We feel really good. We'll be just fine. As long as Joe good, I think everything will be all right. We're not worrying about the other two stars being there right now. I think we're trying to get the contract done with Chase first and foremost, and then T. Higgins will be there when camp starts. We all know that. It's not like he's not going to sign. So do I think the long-term deal will get worked out with T. Higgins? I don't think so. I think Chase is the main priority right now. And I think it's good, though. All the linemen are there. Joey getting with the big boys. He got the top flight security.
Yeah, getting good timing with the offensive line during OTAs is a big deal. That was a joke. I don't know if they're doing anything together, but I do appreciate that they're hanging out and the camaraderie is building, which I think is a big part of this particular time of year. Yesterday it was reported that the NFLPA might be trying to push OTAs out of the offseason pretty much and then just have a ramp-up period in training camp. Do you have any thoughts on that, on how you would feel about it?
I like the OTAs. I don't like rushing my body back because then when you rush your body back, you get tweaks. With hamstring, groin, little soft muscles, but I think everybody needs that. Everybody needs the timing. You get feeling of different calls, knowing where you can sit on routes, just knowing fine tuning of what everybody got to do. That's what I think OTA is for. Yeah. And man, you got to know. You got to know if you want to play at this level. This is big boy game, and there's a lot of X's and O's in this game beside of just playing football.
I think they would still have the ramp-up period would still have the same amount of time, I think, as the OTAs. So I just think it would just be moved towards the beginning of training camp. And then immediately all the reaction is from a lot of people is like, well, this is the NFLPA pushing this, so obviously everything you try to get done with the NFL is a part of a negotiation. Yeah. So if the NFL is going to get 18 games to move training camp, or move OTAs from April and May to near training camp, it's like the NFLPA strikes again. The NFLPA strikes again.
Then you ain't got no break. If you do tweak some, you right there into training camp, then you right into the season.
Yeah, you need that break.
I think you need the break. They get a month off.
A month and a half is like 5-6 weeks.
Yeah, that's a good little break. Then you can refocus back in, and then you hitting it all the way to February, hopefully.
Yeah, it's interesting that the NFLPA is pushing for it because you would assume that a lot of the players in the locker room currently voted for it to be an option. But it feels like every ex-player that you've talked to, for me, I don't care. I got to kick a ball. If we're doing actually the first couple of weeks of OTAs, you can't even have a ball in the field, so I actually have to go kick it in another field. So it's like there's a lot of stupidity in a lot of these rules and how this whole thing goes. So for me, I don't have, but it feels like every person that's ever played in the past is like, this is dumb. We don't like any part of this, but we'll see how it goes. The NFL is going to use this as leverage, though, for sure. I wonder why this was the thing that the NFLPA was like, you know what? Yeah, we need to change this.
Head scratcher. I don't get it. I know usually the player reps are older players and veterans. Once you are 6-7 years into the thing, you don't necessarily need. I like the OTAs for all the reasons Pac-Man said, and not only just for the players, for the coaches. Like you think about all the musical chairs with the coaching staff. A lot of time, this first time these guys have a room, and you're not in there with college kids. You're in there with grown ass men. So you got to win them over with intellect. So knowing that you can call plays, how do you install? How do your best players? Do they need walkthroughs? Do they need to get up on the board? Learning those things in April and May as opposed to trying to learn them in August and September is a big issue. Brady came out and said, hey, the football is getting worse and worse across the board. I don't see this making it any better.
You talk about not having a break for injuries, too. It's like if there is any situations between coach and player or player and player during OTAs, little drama, 5-week break, getting back, a nice little refresh.
Yeah.
That is a whole other thing that could potentially take place, not only the injuries, but the break. Joining us now is a man who played in the NBA for 21 years. Now, before we chat with him, we got to showcase what he did the other night during Luka's game winner, as he was on an alt cast on TNT, True T. I forget the exact channel. Nonetheless, listen to this man, the Crostradamus, explain what's about to take place in front of our face.
What happens here, Crostradamus?
Closes his eyes.
It's going to be in Luka's hands. He's going to shoot a step-back three.
Ooh, you think so?
Seeing it
I
happen.
think so.
I've got to say, if you are right.
If I'm right, I'm walking off the set.
Yeah.
This is like
And
his
I'm
third
telling you,
time, I
that's it.
think.
Does it go in, or you're just saying that's what he does?
I think he makes it. He's going to hop on one leg after he does it. If I'm going to
No, you with the details and stuff.
I'm telling you.
One leg.
What do you think, Channing?
Rudy's still on the court. Rudy's going to be involved in this play.
What do you think?
Derek Lively gets a lob dunk.
Okay.
You think they're going for a tie?
How about Jamal going? You think they're tying?
I think it's his Kyrie time.
What did I tell you?
Oh my God!
To a T.
I'm out of here.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now, the Crostradamus, Jamal Crawford.
Yeah.
How's it going, man? What's that?
I said, what's up, y'all?
Okay, so you closing your eyes there, you're seeing the play unfold, and I guess D-Butt just said you did 3 of those throughout that entire game. Was that something you were known for while you were playing in the league, or is it because of how long you played in the league that you have this ability to just predict exactly what a coach is going to do?
I think it's a little bit of both, but to be honest with you, I always had a feel. I think my feel is one of my greatest gifts, and I saw it. I closed my eyes and I saw it, and I wouldn't even say it as much as I did, but Taylor kept pressing me on details, and I just saw it exactly how it played out, which is crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. It's awesome TV, though.
Yeah,
I mean, it's an awesome moment. And also, we run that right before you talk on this show. Makes our show look like, legit shit show. And that never happens for us, so we appreciate it. Let's talk about that series. Obviously, the Minnesota Timberwolves extended, okay? Ant, Cat, back in the game last night, obviously, after seemingly falling apart for the first 3 games. They had no juice, no jam, no energy, no shot-making ability. What happened last night, and is this sustainable? Is this team going to be the first team ever to come back down 3-0 in the playoffs and knock off the Dallas Mavericks, or do we think Dallas just got a little laissez-faire up 3-0 in a playoff series?
I think Dallas still wins it. I think just for Minnesota going forward, it was exactly what they needed. I tweeted before the game, before the series started, I said for Minnesota to win, Ant's going to do what he does, but they're going to make it tough on him. So it's going to be a Cat series. So if Cat's making shots like that, it opens up the floor. It gives everybody else space. It gives Ant another weapon. So his attacks aren't as predictable because now he's playing the closeout. He's playing against space. So when Cat's making shots like that, that's going to have to be the formula for them to try to claw back in the series.
Okay, so you think that Dallas still wins it. What do you think they'll need to do? Dallas will just have to do the Luka Kyrie show to be able to get back on the winning side of things here, or same exact game plan, Minnesota just happened to win one?
Yeah, I think and Lively was out too, Pat. I think that was a huge loss, and I think he may be back in the next game or so. He's a lob threat. He allows those guys, especially when Luka and Kyrie are getting downhill, to play the lob, as well as, put Gobert in a situation where it's 2-on-1 and have him guessing. I think Kai will play a lot better as well. I think he struggled a little bit in the fourth quarter and didn't get his normal rhythm, his normal juice. So I expect him to come out and have a big game. At some point, if it's the next game or game 6, it won't go 7. Dallas will end this thing.
D-But's got a question for you.
Yeah, speaking on Cat, you were already speaking on him, but that mindset with obviously all the outside noise, I know you guys probably watch, the TNT guys after games, or at least hear about it. How hard is it as a player, especially a star player like that, to focus, especially with this game being a lot of perimeter based on offense, shooting a lot of threes, goes 4 for 5 last night after struggling massively for the previous few games.
4 for 40.
Yeah, how's that mindset for the player going with all that outside noise and keeping that confidence on the biggest stage?
We act like we don't hear it, D, but we hear it for sure. Because I remember when social media first came in, when I was with the Clippers, and it was like prevalent. Everybody had a voice, and you run into your phone and see what they're saying. And it's messed up because they kind of start controlling how you're playing. If you look, Cat didn't take a 3 until later in the game. So I know he heard the thoughts like, oh, man, stop shooting, go in the paint. And they were kind of coaching him, so to speak. But once he got his rhythm, he started making shots, and he felt more comfortable when he had to take them. And we're all creatures of habit. And basketball is such a rhythm sport. You can miss 3 in a row, but then you can make 3 or 4 in a row. And he got on his roll. But social media is definitely a huge part. It's even worse when your family's like, you know what, you should be doing this, you should be doing that. It's past the social media part of that.
Well, because the family hears what is said on social media, so they got the answers. Not everybody, but they have the answers, obviously, from outside looking in. They did the research on social media. This is what the majority of the people are saying, so this is what I think I should be believing. But in the NBA, there's a show there that sets the tone for the conversation across the board. And it's like, it's gone soon. You know, it's going to be gone after next year. And obviously, you get to work at TNT alongside the legendary show that has won, 55 Emmys or something for just being the best ever. But, like, it feels like they set the conversation for an entire sport as well. So whenever you talk about you have to be able to hear it, has it always been that way with Inside the NBA? Have players always heard everything that Chuck had to say or Shaq had to say? I think before him it was Magic, and then I think there was, I forget who all filled that far left spot. But it feels like that show more intertwined with the culture, the conversation, and the locker room than any other sport. Is that an accurate reading? Has it always been that way?
It's very accurate. There's some people that I hear say, I don't even watch the game. I tune in for pregame, postgame, and after the game to see what they're going to say. So they've always had the pulse. And for them, hopefully this whole thing shakes out. I don't know much about it right now. It's a lot of conversation. But they transcend sport. Like, they're almost like the Golden Girls. Like, they got their own sitcom. Like, they're bigger than just a sport because we all want to know what Shaq or Charles or Kenny's going to say, and Ernie's the Godfather, right? So he's going to set the stage perfectly. So we have to have them because they've been the backdrop and the soundtrack for basketball for the last 25 plus years.
A lot of power, obviously. They're in a position of leverage.
Yeah. Big time.
In a great space business-wise here.
Yes.
At this stage of the show and of their careers and their success, the amount of leverage they currently have with this, it stinks for TNT. Now, maybe TNT just keeps it too, by the way.
Yeah.
We don't have basketball. Who cares? We'll still have the pregame. Sure. People can still come for halftime. They can get access to arenas even if they're not doing the games because of who they are. So maybe TNT is able to keep it together. But if not, there's a lot of big pockets that are looking to get into live sports. In that show, to your point, they're outdrawing some games. Their ratings are better than some games. It's like all of a sudden, Inside the NBA is a commodity that everybody would want. Why not Amazon?
Ooh,
why not Amazon? Why not Apple?
Yeah.
They wanted to get into it. Why not YouTube? Why not X?
Sure.
You know, X is in the game of doing. Why not ESPN? Why not NBC? Literally, anybody that has money has the chance. So congrats to them, the Golden Girls.
Yeah.
That's what Jamal Crawford. That's what Cross Strom said, not me.
Quote unquote.
Congrats to them. Let's do some more chit chat about what the finals could look like. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, Jamal, obviously the Boston Celtics already advanced with a sweep over the Pacers, and now they have this 10-day, period where they're not playing basketball because the finals don't start till next Thursday. What's the deal with that? Do you think that they just kind of take a couple days off? Obviously, they're going to get Porzingis back, so the rest is needed. But is it tough for a basketball team to take that much time without playing against another team? Or right now, are they just fine-tuning everything as they gear up for hopefully a championship?
I think a little bit of everything, to be honest with you. I've always been with I hated being rusty. I hated that feeling. Like, even over All-Star break, I would take no days off, and I would go to LA Fitness and start hooping there. And it wasn't the same competition level, but it kept me in rhythm. So for them, I know they don't want to be rusty, but on the other side of that, they have to get Porzingis back if they want to go and do the things they want to do. And he's such a big part of what they do. Not only his talent, but I think he's brought a certain maturity level to their team as well. So that rest is good for him. I'm sure they'll take a couple days off to start, and then they'll see how this series plays out. But they'll feel refreshed. You can always tell by game one if that rust was too much for them or if that rest was healthy for them. So when game one of the final starts, you'll have a great idea of how they're feeling.
Yeah, they're probably worried, right? Don't want to do too much because we are getting an advantage that we get to break a little bit. But, as a punter, kicker, throw, that is a muscle memory thing. Can't get too far off of that as well. How much is too much? What a balance. That's like their maturity, though, helps them here, I think, right? The Boston Celtics maturity helps them?
Absolutely. And I think the fact they've been in the finals before, and then you got to give kudos to the Derek Whites and the Drew Holiday. Those guys, White came from the Spurs. Holiday was a champion with the Bucks, and he was a huge part of what they're doing. And I think they put the youth part of what the Boston had all before into perspective. Like, this can go fast. You guys are just in the finals. We didn't get back last year. Tatum Rose's ankle against Miami, the first play in Game 7. So we got to take advantage of these opportunities. And I think they got more mature when they got those guys as well.
Well, Boston obviously showed a comeback ability against the Indiana Pacers that I hate, but they all seem to go the same way. Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, Joe, I wanted to ask you, 4 out of 4 games between Wolves and Mavs have all come down to the last few minutes, and then 3 out of 4, Pacers were basically leading, and then the Celtics came back. Is it just about
10 seconds?
Yeah, 10 seconds in game 1 for sure. And then they blew huge leads in game 3 and 4. Is that the last 3-4 minutes? Is that just all about the dogs? Is that Tatum and Brown took over in that series, and then Luka and Kyrie have been taking over in the last 5 minutes of that series? Is that what it's all about down there?
Yeah, it's the closers, because you can have schemes, you can have everything, but that's why the best players, that's why we say stars are made in the playoffs, so superstars are made in the playoffs. Like Kyrie and Luka not only want that moment, they embrace it. Mm-hmm. They want to turn the lights out. They want to show out at the biggest moments, and they have a tendency to do that. So they're more comfortable in that. They don't even feel that pressure. They feel like, you know what? We're built for this. They already see the good things happening before they happen. So when your best players are that confident, it makes everybody else confident. Now, if they don't have the shot, they throw it to you. You're shooting it with more confidence because you knew they drew 2 people. You got more space. You're in rhythm. And that's what the cheat code is for the Mavs. They have 2 guys that can close you. And most teams only have 1.
So the hoops are bigger now. Guys are just better shooters. Why is a 20-point lead not real anymore? Why? Because in the NFL, that happened. Yeah. If you're up 2 scores in the NFL in the third quarter, all right, this one's about over. Now it's 14-point swings happen in the NFL in half a quarter. It's not even a thing. Anybody's in it, you're never out of it. And obviously, it felt like the Pacers had the Celtics out of it numerous times, 18-point leads, 20-point leads, and then they're able to come back. Is basketball talent is just better than ever? Shooting's better than ever? The hoops are bigger? What is it?
It seems like the hoops are bigger for sure.
That's what I thought. Thank you. So the Celtics are playing on bigger hoops. That's what I assume.
It have to be, right?
Yeah, I agree. But is it the talent?
There's so many threes now, the pace they're playing at, so they're playing a lot faster, and the amount of threes they're shooting, the game is never really over. And it gives everybody a chance, and that's why you're seeing every team being built with so much shooting and so much pace, because an 18-point lead isn't what it used to be. That can be got back in 8 possessions. 6 threes, a couple middies, a couple lefts, you're back in the game. So the game is different in that respect. I would say skill from top to bottom, from 1 to 12 is better. But I think in a way we sacrifice skill for will. I think now we're missing some of those dogs, and that's why you have a dog like Ant Edwards, and it stands out that much more because it's not a whole bunch of dogs that have that same mentality.
Yeah, you talk about Anthony Edwards. It's infectious, and the conversation about the Minnesota Timberwolves was kind of one thing for a while. Now it seems to be different. Go ahead, Pac.
Yeah, the Timberwolves had the best defense coming into this thing. Now it don't seem like they can do anything to stop the big 2 from Dallas. What is the difference between the defense? Is anybody playing defense right now, or is it they tired, or how can they stop the big 2 from Dallas?
The thing about it, Pac, is that the fact that their defense was perfect for Denver because they were funneling Murray into the hoop, and they were saying, "Okay, Joker, if you do get the ball in the pick and roll, you have to shoot. We know you like to pass." And they took out the lob threat to Aaron Gordon. The difference with this one is Luka and Kyrie thrive in the mid-range. So if we're playing one-on-one and somebody comes and sets a pick and the big is all the way in the back, it allows the guard to stay in rhythm. So even if he misses 3 threes in a row, he's going to get that easy 15-foot shot that can keep you honest and keep him in rhythm. And when that happens, then the big comes up a little bit more. Now we got the 2-on-1 still. So their defense is actually tailor-made for the Mavs to get off, for Kyrie and for Luka to get off. And that's why they're still so successful.
Hey, there's some game there. I feel like I was just watching Mind the Game.
Sweet.
I need a clip to kind of.
Hey, I'm going to have my own pod next year, Pat. I'll have my own pod. And I think it'd be pretty cool as well, for sure.
The Crostradamus?
No.
Crostradamus with a little remix. I think you'll like it. I'll give you an early viewing.
Oh, can't wait. Make me smarter. I love that. Yeah. Everybody calls me a big dumb dipshit, but if I get smarter, now we're playing the game. Hey, Angel Hernandez, gets kind of forced into a retirement in baseball in the middle of the season. Hey, bud, you suck at calling strikes and balls. Mm-hmm. We can't have you doing this. He's been around forever. I heard there was a chance Scott Foster and Tony Brothers were like, well, that's baseball, right? That's not the NBA. Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, Jamal, what have you thought about the officiating thus far? Not so much in the Eastern Conference Finals because, I think people just kind of assumed that was more so the Pacers kind of just collapsing than anything the officials did. But with everything that's been going on with Minnesota, Cat's been in foul trouble. Gobert has been last night, and Edwards was. And I know that Stan Van Gundy and Reggie Miller were kind of getting on Cat because he's picking up so many stupid fouls 25 feet away from the basket. And then when he has to contest and he picks up fouls, that like he's having to sit for prolonged stretches. Do you think that's more so Minnesota's just kind of playoff inexperience, or do you think that the officials have been calling this pretty tight and not really letting them play?
I think it's a little bit of both, to be honest with you. I think to Reggie and Stan's point, you can't, if you're Cat, right, and it's going to be a physical game, they need you on the court, more importantly, you can't pick up fouls 30 feet away from the court. Like, it had no impact on the game. The only impact it had was you possibly having to go to the bench sooner. And then the officiating is different from the regular season to the playoffs, right? The regular season, they're calling every single thing. In the playoffs, this is a playoff basketball possession, right? Let's say we're in the summer, we're going to 15, and it's 14-14. And that last possession is like, it's physical. It's going to basically have to be blood for a foul. That's how every single possession of the playoffs should feel like that. So it's a little bit of an adjustment for players, for refs as well, because they're calling everything in the regular season. And that's why guys get to the free throw line 10, 12 times a game. But in the playoffs, they're like, no, you got to figure it out. And so that's where I think sometimes the consumer and viewers can get a little bit frustrated. But the playoffs, it should be hard. It should be lower scoring games. It should be more physical, but they have to be consistent with that. It's an imperfect job. I tried to ref the Phoenix Suns when my last year, and I wanted to tell all the players to go to hell because they were all complaining. So I understand it's not perfect, but which we want to see consistency.
Yeah. How about Scott Foster telling your brothers they're another 10, 15 years running the courts, or what do you think?
As long as they want. But I'm of the belief as well, like if you give yourself to the game or to a sport or to something for 15 years, you should be able to go out. As long as you can still do it at a high level, you should be able to go out kind of when you want to.
Yeah, I enjoy the moxie from brothers, Tony Brothers. He talked shit to me when I was at the Pacers game.
Yeah, he's about
Hey, Pat, you're about to definitely get tweeted from NBA refs again. I just want to let you know that. It's definitely coming up here soon.
They get a handshake emoji on last week's conversation. They did a handshake emoji between us, which I was appreciative. And I didn't mind the officials being like, hey, why don't you take it easy? I don't mind that.
Whoa.
Now, granted, don't have to bat at least above 70%, though, if that's going to be the case. Because all we're trying to do is journalism.
That's right.
We're just trying to cover things. We're just trying to talk about what we see. Now, do we know shit about basketball? No, we don't. We don't really. But I'll tell you what. When I see a call that's seemingly bullshit, and all the smart people in basketball are saying it's bullshit, it's going to be hard not to say it. But whenever you guys make good calls, we'll also make sure we show that. That's true journalism.
Of course.
Thank you to the refs.
Thank you, refs.
Hard but fair.
Thank you to the refs. Stern. Yeah. But fair.
That's all.
Last question here, Jamal from Con Man.
Yeah, Jamal, you said the Celtics are going to be watching the finals, of course. Do you think they're leaning towards which team they want to play? Do they match up better with the T-Wolves? Is it better with the Mavs because of the fact that they have Drew Holiday and Derek White? What do you think they're thinking of as they watch this Western Conference final?
I don't think they necessarily care just how they play, but I think it would be more interesting maybe with Kyrie coming back to Boston, that whole thing, and Kyrie playing in Boston. I think that would be more fun personally for them. Internally, I think, just like, with the guys that had history with them, they don't really care. They're going to say they don't care, but I think playing against Kyrie, I think that'd be fun for sure.
Yeah. All right, Jamal, we appreciate the hell out of you, man. What are you doing next? Where can we find you? Where can we see you?
Well, next, I'm just chilling, man. I'm going to do the finals. I'm going to be on site in the finals there, and I may do an all-cast depending on how the series plays out, but I'll be in the finals next after that.
Hell yeah. We're lucky for that.
And I'm on NBA.com right now, mailbag. I'm writing there, too. So that just hit yesterday, so I'm there.
You're writing?
Yeah, so I'm doing question and answer from around the world. So NBA.com mailbag. I just did that. So that's out today.
Are you a writer by trade? Do you enjoy writing? Notes section loaded on your phone, or are you just kind of voice to text?
I actually do. No, I love reading. I love writing. I love learning about different things. So, yeah, absolutely. I love engaging with people as well.
I enjoy writing as well. A couple times.
What are you writing these days, Pat? What are you writing?
I don't know. I got like 4 movie ideas in here, like 3 books in here, about 2 stand-up sets in here, 15 songs in here. I mean, my notes section is deep. I got a lot of time on planes, so, and the internet doesn't always work because we're in an airplane.
Of course.
But yeah, I mean, we're talking notes section. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we got a lot of ideas. Yeah, we got a lot.
I'm in my notes. Sure.
Yeah, we got a lot of ideas. All right, NBA.com. We can go see the brain spill out on the paper. Can't wait for that. We appreciate the hell out of you. Ladies and gentlemen, 21-year NBA vet, Jamal Crawford. The Crostradamus, dude. That was pretty sweet. I wonder if he could ever see Kylie Kelce beating the shit out of an old white lady in a beach town from the looks of it. That's right. Yesterday on the internet, the world saw it. I did see a reporter tweet this like 2 nights ago. He said, when this video comes out, just know that Kylie is a dog or something like that. There was allegedly a lady who walked up to Jason Kelce and Kylie Kelce and said, hey, can I get a picture with you? As they were heading to dinner, they said, no, sorry, we're heading to dinner right now. We don't want to necessarily do that. Then the lady throws a full-on fit. And Kylie, who might be 6'10", decides to say, you know what? No, lady, you're not punking me around. Here's the footage.
Middle of the street you are. You'll never be allowed in this town. No. You'll never be allowed in this town again. Don't be alcohol in your breath. You're embarrassing yourself.
You have alcohol in your breath. You're embarrassing yourself. Telling Kylie Kelce that she will never be welcome in that town again because they wouldn't take a picture. Then also saying, I don't even know who you are. After asking for a photo. Classic, basic white bitch shit right there. I mean, that is just right down the pipe of everything you could expect. But this is the world now that Jason Kelce is in.
Yeah.
You know, he's in biggest podcast on earth. His brother's dating the biggest star on earth. Jason Kelce is now part of Monday Night Countdown for Monday Night Football. Everybody's pumped to hear him speak and see him. And Kylie's become a superstar. She's at fashion shows. She's got a lot of influencers that want to be friends with her because they hear how cool she is. This is the new world they're going to be living in. And I'm happy it's them because normally the famous person is considered an asshole in this situation. Instead, I didn't see one person say, Kylie shouldn't have done it. Everybody said, wow, Kylie could have bodied that lady.
Yeah.
And that is kind of how we all felt about it. So shout out to the Kelce's football family. Football family through and through right there.
That's right, and they're setting the tone. Okay, so now the next person that might be a little pissed off that Kylie Kelce or Jason are in a hurry to get somewhere because usually that's how it goes. They know, like, hey, if they say no, don't follow anything up because if you saw what happened, Kylie Kelce actually could have picked up that lady and threw her probably into Seattle City.
How about her saying,
You could tell.
I could smell alcohol in your breath.
booze on your
You're
breath.
embarrassing yourself.
Yeah, I'm disappointed in you.
Yeah, wasn't I mad?
No, just bodying that lady.
I don't know who you are. I just asked for a photo. I don't know who you are. I love that.
Well, and then today, too, like, anyone that knows that lady, like, she's just the biggest asshole in town, you know?
They know that, though.
Oh, yeah.
Well, right. But even anyone who
That's not breaking news for that lady's friends or kids or husbands.
Definitely not. But when you get put on, like, blast publicly like that, like, she's done. Her life's over.
I do like the husbands were just staying out of it.
Yeah, Jason was just kind of meat.
You could tell. You could tell by how far away he was.
Handling that.
And she's an absolute dog.
Husband went in and got in the middle. Hers, we assume. We don't know who that pretend. Whoever's going to sign up to stare down that pit bull of a lady who's ignorant. I couldn't even imagine the arrogance this lady shows on a day-to-day. Couldn't even imagine the things she expects out of everybody in her life. And then this guy getting a good shot of it, we appreciate it. But we would have liked to see the beginning where Kylie decides to stop, turn. Okay, I'll do this if this is what you want to do. Because, you know, a lot of people, especially that are as famous as they are right now, have a full PR team that briefs them on how to act in these interactions. Here's what you can say. Here's what you don't say. Never get in the face of anybody because optically it would look terrible. Kylie and Jason haven't even got to that stage of fame yet where they have people telling them how they should act. And they're just like, nah, this bitch ain't talking to us like this.
No way.
And they handle it. Shout out to the Kelces, continuing to crush it. Travis had those weird pants on. I liked it. He's super high fashion.
Yeah, it looks sweet.
He did look
With
sweet.
the slits in them, those look sweet.
Yeah, you didn't think they looked airy, you know, because it gets hot down in Dallas.
Yeah,
I didn't see where they chapped.
It was
They're like assless chaps, but all over the legs, if that makes sense.
small chaps.
Yeah.
Small little.
Assless and ballless chaps?
No, look. You can see his knees.
Oh.
I see personally as a guy who runs hot, like this is brilliant.
Yeah.
This is a really good.
Those are not see-through, though.
What's that? I can see his knees.
What do you mean?
No, but it's got something up under.
No, hey, you see his nutsack right there.
Hold on. Yeah, is that the tip of his? Is that the tip of his penis coming out the bottom?
No, I don't think he would do that. He's in a relationship. Not everybody's going to see his penis.
High fashion right there.
Yeah, exactly. This is what you do when you become a massive superstar. You wear shit like this, and it's awesome.
No, he's been dressing like this forever.
Travis
has been a fashion. Whenever we were at the LA Rams, Kansas City Chiefs Monday Night Football game, the one that would go on to become the 50-50 game or whatever it was, he had like pink shoelaces on his cleats during warm-ups. And then what he wore, that was literally my first interaction with him in person. We had chatted on the internet, I think, a couple times. But literally, I was standing on his sideline. I was like, That's sweet. And he was like, had to do something for him Monday night. Travis, classic, Travis Kelce in full. He's always been a fashion guy, but obviously now anywhere he goes, he's going to get photographed. He looks cool with those.
I personally like the shirt.
Yeah,
I want to know the significance of the shirt and the apple.
I just want shirts now with fruit on them. Like, I want a banana shirt. I want an apple. I want a pear. I want a watermelon. Like this, I think the shirt is the big winner.
Yeah. What if this is a new brand? Just fruit shirts.
That'd be sweet. Fruit of the Loom shirt.
Be so mad.
Is that Hollywood?
Yep. Yeah, that's Hollywood.
And that's Patrick.
Hulk Hogan.
And then I saw the photo. That is not Hulk Hogan on the right there. And then I saw a photo in the back of Rashee Rice was there. Taking a picture with the boys. So my immediate thoughts were, damn, he's still in Dallas. We need him to get out of Dallas. But also, follow-up, he's with his teammates, though.
Sure.
So that's good news. That's good news as well.
Also doing some community work in Dallas, I saw. I think yesterday on my timeline, passing out food and drinks.
I like that. Do that later. Get the fuck out of that city. You know what? Rashee needs to get the hell out of that city.
Dude, KC.
He's a great football player.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Literally, possibilities are endless with that guy.
I mean, that run. He had that 6-week run where he was the guy. Like, Kelce had an injury or whatever, and Rashee Rice was going for 120 a game.
Let's talk about Caitlin Clark. Obviously, incredible. Travis Kelce, go ahead and put that up. There was a little info on that. Travis Kelce wears a Namias Reisinger Apple t-shirt, $250. Okay. All of a sudden, we don't like that shirt.
Yeah.
We're not going to wear that shirt. We love that he's wearing it, but we would not.
We could make that shirt on paint.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be as comfortable and wouldn't look nearly as cool because it's not on Travis Kelce. Here in Preston, razor cut jeans. Those are $835. A Louis Vuitton chain links necklace, $1190. A monogram Craggy bracelet, $630. Hell yeah, Trav, killing it, bub. Keep killing the game.
Craggy bracelet.
Good fit.
It's good fit. You just got paid again. Just got paid again. Speaking of getting paid, Caitlin Clark is going to get paid big time. She has figured out the WNBA. Now, she'll have a couple turnovers. Okay, she'll have a couple situations. She went for 30 last night, and it's only going to continue to go up and up and up. Feels like her team's starting to understand how we utilize Caitlin Clark.
Yep.
Does her coach know, though? Let's go to somebody that was at the game, Con Man.
Yeah.
What are your original takeaways from the game last night against the Spark, and what are your thoughts on where the Fever sit right now?
I mean, I think they're in a good spot. It seems as though last year the team obviously was built on offense around Aaliyah Boston. Like, hey, this is our girl. She is our breadwinner. And now the team changes. She wins the Rookie of the Year last year, and now Caitlin Clark comes in and she's introduced last. She is clearly the star. And their kind of scheme, it feels like, changes. Like, it is more running gun. It should be. It's Caitlin Clark, and she's scoring 30 points kind of easily. I think she had 15 at the half, and she was playing fantastic. LA has some dogs down low, so they were very tough to score on as far as when it came to Aaliyah Boston. And I hate to do this once again, but basically 3 minutes into the game, Aaliyah Boston, 2 fouls. Okay, see you later. Get the hell out of here. Caitlin Clark got teed up again for basically being pissed about a bad call. And then the LA Sparks, one of their girls goes down. They don't blow the whistle dead. This girl almost gets stepped on. Caitlin Clark's like, hey, look out for her. She's underneath the net. Obviously, after a foul on the Fever by Caitlin Clark, that was basically like, hey, protect this girl. Like, you could hear Caitlin Clark saying to the ref, hey, you need to protect her. Like, she's underneath the rim. Their team has the ball. Stop the game. She's clearly in a lot of pain. That girl gets up and reams out the ref, doesn't get teed up. So, like, there is this weird...
They want to set the tone, Caitlin.
It's this weird feeling that the WNBA feels, and not the other girls, although they were face guarding her. They are treating her as if...
In between foul shots, she doesn't even remember that she has another shot. Oh, shit, I got to get Caitlin Clark 22. No, you got to shoot another foul shot, lady.
Yeah, and the reason that she didn't realize that she has another free throw is because they teed up Caitlin Clark for a nothing, and that's why she had to take another one. But, again, it does feel as though maybe not the other players are like, hey, screw this girl, even though they're covering her like, hey, we don't want to be the team that lets Caitlin Clark
go for 40.
Yeah.
Which is coming in the next couple of days.
No doubt about it, because it does feel as though they're finding their groove. It was awesome to watch her hit those logo threes, feel almost more comfortable shooting from anywhere on the court. Like, I think the clip already ran, but she had a sweet swat and then pass the ball, run down the court, right back, 3. Like, it was incredible basketball, but the refs, like, I don't understand. At one point, Caitlin Clark gets called for a foul. She's kind of pissed off because it was a little bit of a touch foul. Bang. Bucket.
Yeah.
And then the ref, before reporting the foul, to the middle bench bar, whatever, those refs over there. She's just staring at Caitlin Clark, like basically waiting for her to say something else to tee her up. But the Fever are going to figure it out. They're going to be just fine. It does feel like they're hitting their rhythm. They're finding out who they are, their identity, if you will. And the LA Sparks are just a good basketball team.
Yep, LA Sparks are good basketball. I think they're the only team that Fever have beat this year.
That is correct.
But 1-7, we're going to keep it going. Fever are going to find their way.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
All the T's you're saying are not an anger management problem?
No, I don't think they're an anger management problem at all. I think they need to.
Someone's got to ask at some point.
Well, people,
fair question.
Competitive people with refs normally going to showcase some anger every once in a while. Caitlin has been doing this since we've seen Caitlin Clark play basketball. She's certainly a little fiery. She got questions. She got eyes.
Yeah.
And she knows if you're crap or not. And it feels like there's a chance. And I know we just went through the whole song and dance with the officials.
Exactly.
Some of them are crap.
Yeah, for sure.
You do need to protect the ball.
No doubt. There are times where, and that is something that feels as though in the WNBA, they know where you're going. If you're driving to the hoop and jumping and looking to pass, they know where you're trying to get
How's Coach Sides doing? Things are good?
Coach Sides are good. I mean, look, we're down 13, 14 points with 4 minutes left. Look, you can talk shit. I'm going to the game, so I don't want to hear it. 14 points, 14, 15 points, and then they make this
Connor was boots on the ground last night.
That's fine, but you can also watch it and like understand that everything that's going on right now with how much expectations are around this team, and like she takes a timeout and takes Caitlin Clark out, and then there's a 10-point swing and they're down 5 when she's on the bench and she's +4, and then in the last game plus whatever. Like if they don't start winning, like they will shit can this lady. Like that's just how it goes.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
That is a matter of fact in professional sports. He's watching the game unfold live in person and feeling the energy. I think is what
they're down 15, timeout. They come in, they go on a run. They're down by 6, and then the Sparks call a timeout, and then they hit a couple shots. Number 10 on the Sparks hit 3 straight threes. So it was like, okay, like that's just good basketball. Quick shots. What?
Wasn't Rebecca Lobo number 10? No.
Jesus Christ.
We're trying to.
You can't do that.
Yeah. What's the point?
What was? I hope you feel.
What's the point?
We're trying to cover the W. Now, granted, people are attacking us for calling it a W or following the W because we're brand new fans. Did you see all the hubbub about how Caitlin's being treated and being talked about? That became the story of the WNBA. Is all the other people in WNBA saying we don't hate Caitlin. We don't hate. That became the story. Then it became, because there's pettiness. Like Charles Barkley came out and was talking about the pettiness that was potentially happening, how everybody's anti-Caitlin all of a sudden. Then Angel Reese, who's dominating. Angel Reese is having a hell of a rookie campaign. She had a tweet, and then she took that tweet down. And then I think it's all kind of finding its balance right now. I think it's all kind of finding its balance right now. We're in a new world with the W, and Caitlin, I think, is becoming who we all thought she would be, even though the first few games were certainly not great. She's going to score 40 within the next 3 games. I mean, that is just go ahead and book it. And I think Caitlin Clark's mentality is going to lead her to have success, but everybody else is going to have to join in as well. We're happy for a W. We're also happy for a league that happened before I was born. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now with more information. MLB insider for Yahoo Sports. He's an analyst on Apple TV. Hey, how you doing? Keep it moving. Apple TV's on live sports. We like that. And then also the MLB Network. Ladies and gentlemen, Russell Dorsey. How you doing, Russ?
What's going on, guys? How we feeling?
Good. Can I call you Russ? Russell, full name? You know, like Pat, Patrick, Matt, Matthew. Are you Russ is good?
Russ is good. I know my mom's watching, and she's cool with both.
Okay. Shout out Mama Dorsey. Russ is killing it, obviously, in life and on the program. So there was a league that was all black players named
the Negro Leagues.
Okay. So just so we get, I'm allowed to say that. How's this go?
You're good, dog.
That's what he said. That's what Terry said. That's what Pac-Man said. That's what Dirty said.
You never double check enough.
Yeah, just want to make sure. Because once it goes, it's gone forever.
Bingo.
And
it's the official name, buddy. You're good.
Okay. The Negro Leagues are now officially a part of the MLB stats. And what we are learning is that the greatest baseball player of all time is from Pittsburgh, from the Homestead Grays, Josh Gibson. Is this how we need to start talking? And how do we get to this point? Russ, I know you've been covering it in depthly over the last, couple months? How long has this kind of been coming to fruition?
This is something that I've been working on for the last week and a half, 2 weeks. Kind of, you knew this was going on. And I think what needs to happen, everybody needs to take a deep breath, because I think there's a lot on both sides of, oh my gosh, this is the greatest thing that ever happened. There's a lot of people like, no, this is the worst thing that ever happened. A lot of false equivalency of, you got to take Ichiro stats from Japan. Everybody calm down. I think it's an important day in the history of baseball. And when I say the history of baseball, I don't just mean Major League Baseball. And something that I've said for the last couple of days, the last 24 hours, is you can't tell the story of baseball without the Negro Leagues. And now you can continue to tell a more complete, broader picture of the game. And so what has happened is Negro League statistics from 1920 to 1948 are now officially integrated into MLB's database. And there was the Negro League Statistical Review Committee, which was historians, Negro League experts, people from Elias, the people from Retro Sheet and Seam Heads, all these databases that had various Negro League statistics from years past and box scores. You had journalists on the committee, you had former players that have tried to figure out, think of it as a 1,000-piece puzzle. And you're trying to take a box score from 1925 with clippings from newspapers from 1930 and put them together to say, okay, we have a complete picture, or a more complete picture than we had. And so now those statistics get added in. And now that's why you have a guy like Josh Gibson, who is now the single season record holder in batting average, slugging percentage, and OPS. Slugging percentage and OPS were held by Barry Bonds. And the batting average record was held by a guy named Hugh Duffy in 1894.
Okay, so this isn't the 100-point game situation.
No.
They have tape?
I think so. I saw some pictures. I didn't see tape.
Because he was just saying it was a 1,000-piece puzzle to go from like score to like newspaper headlines also being accounted into this and other stuff. How come none of that's around with the 100-point game? Why is it just that one photo?
She's got a stat book.
That's a different sport. We don't want to have to dive into it. But if you're talking about historical stats being brought into real time, that is certainly one that's always going to be chatted about. But now, the Negro Leagues players were always allowed into the MLB Hall of Fame, though? So that was kind of always a part of it, or is it the Baseball Hall of Fame?
Baseball Hall of Fame. So I think what's really important here for people that are wondering, well, how can this happen? How can you take the Negro Leagues that was its own entity and all of a sudden it is given Major League status? So in 2020, Major League Baseball announced that the Negro Leagues will be given Major League status. And I think a lot of people were concerned by that in the sense of, oh, well, now you're just like whitewashing history. And I think it's important to note in 1969, you had the Special Baseball Review Committee that said, all right, let's look at all the leagues that has made up baseball. So you had the Union Association in the late 1800s, the Players League, the Federal League, the American Association. In 1969, that committee said, okay, all of these leagues will be given Major League status. They also said that no special asterisk or no special grouping will be given. That's why you had a guy like Hugh Duffy, who was the single season record holder in batting average, even though he played in the Players League and the Federal League and the American Association. So for all those people saying, well, how can you do this? How can Josh Gibson shoot up the leaderboards? Well, it had already happened. Nobody realized it, though. And so this is something where the new committee, the Negro League Statistical Review Committee, says, well, that committee said that there will be no special asterisk. So you can't all of a sudden say, no, we need to have a special asterisk over here now that the Negro League statistics are integrated.
Okay, so we're taking the asterisks out, and we're saying
no asterisks.
We don't want any of those asterisks whenever we're talking about the history of baseball. And now we have the main stat database adding a league that, from the way you're talking about it, has always been considered incredibly important to the development of the sport and to the MLB. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, Russell, I know the MLB has always done stuff to kind of highlight pieces of the Negro Leagues, and we know like certain players and everything.
He's allowed
like
to just say that, huh? That's me just seeing him say it there.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see me say it, but I just saw it happen right there.
Bothered you a little
bit? It's a name.
Nah, it's just, I just got like uncomfortable for him. Like as it was coming out of his mouth, I'm like, whoa, you know?
I'm learning too.
It's not the other word, Pat. You're good.
A lot of Negro League jerseys I got to go buy.
Yeah, exactly.
Me too.
Homestead Gray's being.
But that's kind of been like the only thing the MLB has done is like they have like the throwback jerseys, and obviously there's the Hall of Fame and all that kind of stuff. But like, are they planning to do anything more to highlight kind of all these people who most people have never heard of? So this in 3 months from now, it's not just like, oh, we already did the thing with the Negro Leagues where we let their stats be known, but where they kind of just like put a pin in it and then say they're done with it. Like, is there any plans in the future to kind of highlight more of this stuff or not really?
Well, you have to, right? I think when you look at what people are concerned about by the other part of this conversation is you don't want this to be, hey, here's the good parts about the Negro Leagues. All right, bye. Like, this has to be something where you explain, hey, this was a league that was very important to baseball's history. They had to be separate because we did not allow them at a time in our country's history where, black players were not allowed to play Major League Baseball. You have to and you don't just hide behind, oh, well, they're part of Major League historical record now. Like, you have to get out in front of it and say, hey, this was a time in our history where black players were not allowed to play Major League Baseball. And we have to stand by that. And we're trying to right this wrong and say, no, they should have been part of that 1969 committee where all these other leagues, where all these other players are now shooting up leaderboards and are part of, in the Hall of Fame that played in 1894, 1895, 1880. Those guys got considered as Major League status. And so the Negro Leagues will now be part of Major League Baseball's historical record. And so you can't hide. You can't hide from it because there are a lot of people out there that are going to say, hey, are you hiding from your history? You have to tell the complete history. You can't just tell the good parts about it. You have to tell the whole story.
Yeah, and I'm excited to learn more, and I'm definitely getting a Homestead Gray shirt for sure. And whenever they have the Josh Gibson bobble bat night, I'll be there for that as well. Guy could swing some good wood. Mm-hmm. Guy could swing some good wood. Festival. Not only in the Negro Leagues, which every time it comes out of my mouth, I feel like it's my last words on television. But also, if he got a chance in the MLB, and if he would have got that brain surgery, there's a chance. Yeah. Who knows goes forward. Hey, we can't thank you enough for your work, brother. Nice meeting you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Russell Dorsey.
Yeah, Russ.
Came out of your mouth. I was watching. I thought you were dead. It was like when Reese was like, "Hey, I have these Lank shirts," and I'm like, "Don't, Reese, Reese." That's how I felt with you there. But I guess that's on us.
Yeah, I mean, there's no other name for it. That is the name. That's how everyone. Like, there's no other. It is what it is. Like you said, you didn't name it. I didn't name it. We're just trying to shine some light on.
Now, and to be clear, we didn't make the rules then either.
No, of course not.
We didn't all make the rules.
Not alive.
I was dead.
No.
Yeah, well,
very
not alive. Are you dead if you weren't?
No,
because you got to be alive to be dead.
Yeah.
Yep. BB.
You got to breathe fresh air to be dead.
There were some milligrams.
I don't think.
Well, we're not even getting into that. Not even getting into that. You just threw yourself right into in the middle of a massive conversation. But when does it start?
Jeez.
That is
Tony
a whole.
Butker.
That is a whole. Jeez Louise. Not even. There were some milligrams in a state that was legal the other day, and Truman Show was on.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
And then Sims is making a return.
Yep.
Then my algorithm just could sense what was going on, and it just fed me this physicist doctor that was like 51% chance we're in the middle of a simulation right now. I'm like, I'm too high for this. But what is all? What is everything?
Yeah, it's crazy world.
You can't get too deep into that though, because once you start doing it, you're like, well, what am I? Where is sports? Where is there a game on? Is there a game on? It's crazy. Shout out to that's a big move though. It feels like. And Josh Gibson, Pittsburgh legend,
dog,
greatest of all time. Now Paul Skeens on the mound on his birthday. He's about to strike out everybody. Greatest pitcher of all time.
Uh-oh.
Pittsburgh is baseball town all of a sudden.
21.
Strikes everybody out.
21 strikeouts.
Oh, my God.
Hopefully they'll pull him. Hour 2 will be on the other side. PK, Subban, and more. See you then. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, the commissioner of the NFL. Don't listen to them. No. Roger, good. Shut your mouth. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah. You're our commissioner. Don't worry about these bums. From us to you, we'd like to give you a gift that we know you're a big fan of. Ladies and gentlemen, some peanut M&Ms for our commissioner.
This is why we're on set?
Yep. You can take these with you. You can take them home.
I might just I got a gift for you. What? Oh. You ready?
Yeah, I like that.
With the 222nd pick in the 2009 NFL Draft.
Oh, yeah.
The Indianapolis Colts select Pat McAfee, Hunter, West Virginia.
Hell yeah!
Come on there, baby. Good pick. Good pick.
I'll pick him up. Thank you, Raj. I'm not going to pick you up because you got that
That's
back.
all right.
Yeah.
I got it. There's your card, baby. That's real.
That's awesome.
I've been keeping that for, 15 years?
You had it in your back pocket this whole time. This is cool. Thank you for this. So whenever we say that you have to answer to 31 billionaires, how accurate is that?
32. Well, you're not counting Green Bay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Doesn't count.
Big Pop. There's a Green Bay Packers.
I didn't know he did.
Yeah, no, that was.
I don't actually think that way. I actually think I answer to them. I think I answer to the media partners. I think I answer to the players. I think I answer to the owners too. The idea for me is to try to keep everyone happy. I always say that my biggest job is not to piss off more than 24 owners in a given day.
How did you know the draft would be awesome if you traveled it, and did you see this happening?
I'd be kidding you if I thought it was going to be as big as it is. We felt like we could be bigger than we were in Radio City. But what happened is Radio City actually put a holiday show in and said, you can't have the draft until June. And that's when we said, we're out of here.
So they kicked you out?
That's when we went on the road.
Well, Taylor Swift, we know.
Well, that's a different kind of influence.
How about, hey, listen, a lot of jokes from
They're booing Taylor Swift?
Yeah, you can't boo.
They're idiots.
Yeah, you're going to be a part of an album.
Wow.
Do it. Get a little louder. She is going to cook you. A lot of the internet was saying Roger Goodell was sitting at home through the moon about this.
Well, they thought it was part of the script.
Yes, everyone talks to her. There it is. Is there a thought of adding another one, maybe adding another bye week, or are we good at 17 right now?
Well, I think we're good at 17 now, but listen, we're looking at how we continue. I'm not a fan of the preseason. I don't think we need three.
Waste of time, right, and energy.
I don't buy it, and I don't think these guys like it either.
Well, that's spend full price for the tickets for those games.
No, they're actually discounted now. So
Thank you for doing that.
I'd rather replace a preseason game with a regular season any day. That's just picking quality, right? If we got to 18-2, that's not an unreasonable thing. The other thing it does, which I thought you were going to, is that ends up on President's Day weekend, which is a 3-day weekend, which makes a Sunday night, and then you have Monday off. So that's
wow.
Now we're cooking.
See, now
we're cooking. Did you talk to the president?
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey. Why? Let's go! This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. Ah! The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Stop! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Sport! Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this We're in a New World Wednesday, May 29, 2024. Our tour of the program starts now. Sports are great because they have championships and they have a unification ability that nothing else has, and we are currently joined by Lord Stanley Cup here.
Hell yeah, Lord.
That's real deal Holyfield right there.
That's right.
That's the actual Stanley Cup that has been obviously binge drank out of, partied. I couldn't even imagine how many naked bodies have been straddled around this thing, and it is a dream come true to have it this close to our program. Cannot lift it, cannot hoist it, cannot drink out of it.
No.
I haven't touch it.
Okay.
It's bad luck.
No, it's not.
For the Penguins, it is.
No, it's not. Mira just told me. Mira is the first ever woman keeper of the cup from Toronto. She's been around for like 20 years with the NHL. She said, that's good luck, actually.
Wow.
Look at
she said it's good luck?
It's literally going through my soul.
Then D-Butch, Gumpy, and Bruce should probably all...
Well,
No.
Come on, boys.
Go through here.
Go on. It's
Give
good
it-
luck.
come on,
Give it a
boys.
kiss. Yeah.
Oh, you guys think you matter that much? Oh, that's cute.
Yep.
This is back whenever one half of the hammer, Dahn, Cowboys, Tone Diggs started. He was wearing one shirt. The Steelers were going to win. You remember that?
They were undefeated.
Oh, yeah.
They were 11-0, brother, until Foxy hopped on board.
They were undefeated.
Wow.
That was
Stats are
true.
stats.
That was true.
I just bought a new Panthers jersey. Want to know which one it was that I wore to the last game?
Which one?
Sam Reinhart.
Oh,
Rhino.
Hey,
what
Scored
happened?
that game. He scored this game.
That's 9-year NFL vet, Darius J. Butler, big Florida Panthers fan.
Doesn't
12-year NFL vet, Pac-Man Jones is here. Very cool. That's a cool fit today.
Smell me?
Is that a puzzle? Like, can I get from one point to the end.
Oh, like a little maze.
Maybe if you take one of those gummies that you was talking about in that steak, you probably can get through it.
Yeah, I think we can find a way. On the back of a cereal box, if they have one of those map things, it's like I'm gonna find it.
Yeah, box it in.
Because they set you up with like a little half wall, and you want to go this way.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, no, I don't, bitch.
What is it?
I know what you're trying to do to
A maze?
Yeah, one of those things. Yeah.
Those are the best on the
Is
box.
it considered a puzzle as well? Because you're trying.
I beat one the other day. It was awesome.
Back of a cereal box?
No, it was on a kid's menu.
Ooh, those ones are nice.
Yeah.
Crayon?
Yep.
McDonald's?
No. Local restaurant here.
Which crayon
Lobster?
color? Was
Red.
it? Red Lobster's dead.
It is.
Red
No,
Lobster.
that's why I wasn't sure if Tony was
For sure.
kind of going to say his goodbyes.
No, I
Red
don't-
Lobster's so dead.
I
Think
don't-
about that.
Not the only
Go to
one.
Seafood restaurants in the middle of the country. No.
Hardee's.
Seafood restaurants do just fine.
What are you talking about? It's freshly shipped in every day and fresh catch where it can be fresh.
Red Lobster?
Caught.
That's
yeah.
the Talks the Table at Ty Schmidt and at Boston Connor. You don't act like you predicted Red Lobster's downfall.
No, I did not.
You
I
did.
never-
You're like seafood in the middle of the country. What
No,
do
I'm
you
just
think
saying
happens?
I wouldn't order seafood in the middle of the country. I order a lot of beef out here, okay?
Oh, so you're only
It's-
eating meat.
Went to Boston a couple weekends ago, got seafood.
So good.
So you're not
Be
eating
where
any-
your feet are.
So you've lived here now for 8 years, 7 years?
Yeah.
You don't
8
have
years.
seafood out here ever?
I have sushi, which, is kind of against my point.
Oh, so the rawest fish.
Yeah.
Send it over.
Yeah.
Kind of against my point. At Boston Connor is here as well.
He's being honest. I don't really eat fish out here either. I just do it when I go home, or if like we're up in Chicago or on one of the coasts.
I don't really eat fish to begin with. Like, not a big fish guy, but if modern technology can't figure out fish in Indiana,
Yeah.
we got much bigger problems.
Well,
right, don't we?
I had a bad experience. I think is probably why back in 2020, after COVID, there was a new restaurant on Mass Ave that actually I went to with Nick.
Oh, yeah.
And boy, oh boy, the fish they were serving was something. I don't know if it was fish, but it was something.
And you shit your pants. Was that
Oh
one?
my God! Yeah. Oh no, that was a couple years after.
That was a taco joint.
That was last February.
I had some problems this morning. I think I had a little food poisoning last night. Last 10 minutes of the last hour, I'm going to shit my pants up here. We're talking about the Negro Leagues, so I'm almost shitting my pants already.
Sure.
And then I'm actually almost shitting my pants in real life. Things like that need to happen, though, just to remind yourself, you still got it.
Yeah.
You know? So now during that break, I was certainly, howling in a toilet or whatever, but like those things need to happen, especially 1 week. Yeah, Dude Wipes has been a tag team partner throughout all of this morning. I actually came out crying earlier. The boys saw me.
Oh, yeah.
Dripping
I mean,
sweat.
when you came in
For
full sweat.
came into the office, we knew like what's going on here.
Yeah, I was a little pale this morning when I came in, and Tone Diggs said, "Hey, you just got to get that out of you, buddy.
you do.
You just got to go in there and get that thing." And I did. First time I've done that in a long time, and boy, I was sweating. The eyes fully bloodshot. Had drips of sweat coming off my arms.
Wow.
Like that's how serious it was in there. But I felt so much better afterwards until about 30 minutes into the program. Then I had to let it go. I think we completely beat it.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right.
Do you have Pizza Hut?
No.
Whoa.
What was that?
No.
Well, on the internet, they're saying that Domino's is way better than Pizza Hut, so I was just making sure
Just
that
had Domino's the other night. It doesn't hold a fucking candle to Pizza Hut.
Never
Let's
did.
just get that straight.
Domino's is pretty good. I will say I'm not against Domino's at all, but I will. In my rankings, Pizza Hut is always going to be above it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now there's like Dallas Salad Pizza, obviously in Pittsburgh, that I would put above anything else, and I'm sure there's other local pizza places that Paisanos have put together, and it's great pizza. We're just talking chain available everywhere.
Bingo. Right.
Pizza Hut is going to be the most consistently great for your buck. Is how we feel. Foxy though, who grew up eating what pizza did you?
Little Caesars, of course.
Okay.
Hot and ready.
So, immediately.
$5 in and out the door. It's the best pizza you can
Had to
get.
run.
Take his chips
Yeah,
off the
College.
table.
When we were in college, Little Caesars had a run.
Probably, for me, probably like elementary school.
Oh Jesus.
Middle school.
Yeah, when your taste buds you didn't
It's
even
like
have.
for
Basic
crazy
salad.
bread slapped.
No.
Yeah, don't forget about the crazy bread.
Joining us now is a man from Ohio. I think there's a lot of Italians in Ohio, so I assume the pizza is delicious over there. This man's a college football national champion, a Super Bowl champion, a Ryder Cup winner, and the current president of Ohio, AJ Hawk. AJ, I know you love adversity. Me, 1. Whatever the hell I ate, 0. Got it all out of me this morning.
You think it's all gone? Like truly gone?
The last stop, it did feel like I had broken free.
Wait, were you sweaty because you were about to puke or dump? Which
Just
one?
got done puking. Yeah, just got done puking. Had to get it out of there because the dumps was trying to get it all out of there, but you can only get so much out there, with the way the human body is constructed. And I don't like going in and sending the divers in. That ain't my gig. I don't like that at all. But it was getting bad. I thought I maybe wasn't going to be able to do program today with how shitty I felt. And Tone looked at me and was like, "You just got to do it. You just listen.
Wow.
Shove your fingers down your throat and get it done with." And I did, right in that room right over there, and it worked. It did. But you're talking dripping sweat, dude. Dripping sweat.
Like when you come down from a flight, that was really bumpy, like that kind of feeling?
Yes, that is your MO. I had one of those the other night. I don't know if you heard, going into Savannah. I was out of seat onto armrest. Oh, put your seatbelt on. Okay. Well,
maybe miss the turbulence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
fly higher, huh?
Okay.
How about that?
I don't think they can control it completely like that, Tone, but
we're at 41,000 feet.
Though.
We were way up there.
It's 45.
That was actually the first thing I was looking at is how the hell are we hitting any turbulence? They're supposed to be too thin where these planes fly. That's why I fly on these planes.
Exactly.
And I see 41,000. Oh my God.
At least the screen, you knew how high you were because sometimes those aren't on.
Yeah,
normal.
Broken screen will get you because you're literally in a time capsule for how long? Who knows? How long do I have until the end of this flight? It could be anything. Could be 2 hours, could be 10 hours, who knows? Could be stuck in here for the rest of your life. What happened to that Malaysian plane?
Oh,
there's some.
What did happen? I've watched that doc on it.
Boy,
there's some weird
that
stuff. What did happen?
That goes to the other dimension type thing.
Well, the New York Post just posted something about two.
Oh yeah.
You saw the recent video?
Oh really?
Yeah.
What happened?
What did they post?
We got new aliens. New aliens are here.
Two of them. They're invisibility.
Cloaking devices.
Cloaking devices.
They became invisible on the camera. And the veteran investigator said, "I don't know what the fuck's going on here. I need a little bit more help." And to be clear, when you watch the video, it is not very clear.
Is it ever?
None of them are.
Yeah.
Which might be part of their whole thing. Hey, when we go there, we just have to make sure that we have the technology where if it's
we're super blurry.
Yeah, you can't see us.
Super blurry faces.
That would make more sense.
But anyways, keep an eye out on sports, not too much other stuff because there's a lot to dive into. There's a lot. I don't know if you heard that at the end of the last hour where I talked about being a little bit and watching Truman Show and then Sims coming on and I'm looking up and all of a sudden it's like, what does that mean for me? What does that mean after me? And it's like, got a daughter, don't need to. Yeah. Let's just get back to sports.
Games on tonight.
Let's talk a little. Yeah. There's too much you can get into there, AJ. A little bit too much in between the ears.
Just let it go. Let it go. Just let it go after when it gets to that point.
Yeah, especially with the way I think, because I'll be like, yeah, let's get to the bottom of this actually. And then 5-6 hours later, and all of a sudden, I'm that guy from the movie Conspiracy Theorist, and it's like,
we need to have new Einstein on.
Who's that?
Terrence
Howard.
Yeah, I mean, some people.
Is that what they call him now?
That's what I'm calling.
Oh, okay.
Hey, AJ, did you hear the news about the baseball league back in the day? What was the name of that league?
I'm not sure, actually. I caught the majority of the first hour, but I do not know exactly what the league was you were speaking of.
No, is that right? You don't remember? You don't know the name? You guys didn't talk about
Bob Gibson was an unbelievable player back
Josh!
then.
Jesus Christ.
You piece of shit.
You're a pig.
Guy doesn't even know the name of the league, first of all.
Bob Gibson was a player as well.
If you had to guess the name of the league, what do you think it would be? It's right there on the bottom of the screen. You can read it.
The Major League it's always been Major League Baseball, right?
Yeah, since we've been alive. But before we were alive, there was other leagues. Do you remember the name of the league that Josh Gibson played in? Do you remember that?
I honestly do not recall. I was hoping you or Ty could remind me.
It's literally right there. It is on.
My screen cuts off. What is there? I don't even see the scroller thing anyway. What do we got going on over there?
Can we get him? Can we get it? Make sure tech wise he has the entire thing.
I just checked. He could see it.
Oh, okay. Well, how about this? It's right here.
You don't know anything about me, Zeke. How do you know that?
It's right here. It's right here on the screen. I don't know if you see it. What's the name of the league, AJ?
The MLB incorporates the Negro League.
Whoa! Ohio guy! Holy hell! We're allowed to say that.
What's the protocol on this one?
Yeah, so I asked a lot. I asked journalists. I asked friends. I asked people in the building. And, it's just green light, they said. Got the G card. They said, go ahead and say it. And I've seen others get duped into this before where they thought they were got the green light in one particular group, and then they go to another group, and it's like, well, we didn't.
It's not a universal.
And I saw that person get their ass beat. And that ain't the way this is going to go for me, I don't think. I learned that lesson quickly and from somebody else's actions, obviously. And I've been told Negro League is completely okay for us. It sounds weird every time it comes out, though, AJ, whenever we're talking about that baseball league that Josh Gibson played in. What was it called?
The Negro League.
Jeez.
Again, I don't have to. That's my last time saying it.
I think that's enough, guys.
I agree, but I agree.
I think that's the big journalism of the day for me. Obviously, Josh Gibson, best baseball player of all time.
Dog.
Congratulations.
What?
Pittsburgh guy.
Satchel Paige.
Satchel. Yep. What a beast. Way to go. That's great.
Great name.
I think
And also,
Josh is.
we're allowed to buy merch and stuff now, right?
Yeah.
Are you ordering?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let's go, dude.
Nice jersey.
Yeah, that Grays jersey's sweet. Now, to be clear, with that graphic that we made there with Josh Gibson on, there was some controversy going into this entire thing. Would have threw us right into a buzzsaw.
A big one.
Yeah, would have threw it right into a buzzsaw. That is Josh Gibson right there. Okay, that is not somebody playing Josh Gibson in a play later on down the road.
Correct.
That is actually a picture of him, which is great news.
Fun fact: Josh Gibson's dad worked in a steel mill in Pittsburgh, so he comes from good roots.
Wow,
that's probably why he's the best.
It's a baseball city. It's also a hockey town. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, a man who's been covering the NHL in a fantastic fashion all offseason. Last night, after the Florida Panthers scored in overtime, he did a little song and dance on set, even though he's known to be a Rangers guy. Ladies and gentlemen, PK Subban.
Hey. Jay Tatum.
Clean fit.
Hey, let's go.
You look sweet. This is a great outfit. What are we doing here? What's going on? It's a good day to be PK, it seems.
Yep, had a meeting today. I'm at the NHL office, so I had a meeting with the production company that's doing that great show with the NHL Box to Box. So I'll be participating in some of that stuff. Excited about it. It's great for the NHL.
What's Box to Box?
Production company. They did the quarterback show in the NHL. They also did, I think it's Drive to Stay Alive, the Formula One show on Netflix as well.
Hell yeah.
So, yep.
Full swing,
big
swingers.
stuff happening here.
Okay, so we're gonna follow. Which hockey players are we following? Has that been announced? Why don't you make that announcement right now?
Breaking.
I'm not breaking any news on that. I don't know enough about it, but they had to interview me, so we'll see where it lives.
Who are some of the guys? Maybe some of the guys
in consideration. Yeah.
That are in consideration for what? For this show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like the big stars are going to be involved. McDavid, Philip Forsberg, Quinn Hughes, Jack Eichel.
Stoner.
Jackie Ace is in there.
Austin.
Sydney.
Austin Matthews. I'm sure maybe Crosby will be in there. I can't give it all away. You got to watch the show.
Just kind of did.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yes, he
Thank
did.
you for that, PK. That's good journalism. We did it. We did it.
Incredible.
We just
didn't even know Box to Box was the thing.
had no clue. Box to Box is the name of it, or that's the production company. What's the name of this one? Hockey to Rocky, or what is the
Box to Box is the production company. Yes, correct. I have no idea what the show is going to be named.
Hockey to Stay Alive.
PK, I love that you're a
Skate
part of it.
to
It's going to be
survive.
electrifying. Yeah. Wait to skate.
Light the lamp.
Wait.
Ooh, light the lamp.
Grit and Jom.
Yeah, the sandpaper.
Oh man, pucks on net.
Boom.
Yeah.
Rubber's on that. Rubber.
Dumping
rubber.
Yes.
Dumping rubber.
Okay, let's talk not only about Dumping Rubber, the new series coming to Netflix by Box to Box that PK Subban's going to be part of. PK, I don't know if you saw it thus far, but we have a special guest here in the Thunderdome. Lordo's here. PK. Lordo, Stanley Cup is here.
Lordo!
Yeah, Lord Stanley Cup is here in the building. Shout out to Mira, the first woman keeper of the cup in the history of the cup. She brought it in from Toronto. I'm allowed to touch it, they said. I'm not allowed to lift it, drink out of it, cuddle it, spoon it, do anything like that, but I'm allowed to touch it just like this. I seen you on set when Messier, who obviously won it, I think 6 times, he walked over to you and you ran from me. You said, I might be a strength coach someday for a team. I'm not going to touch this thing. I want to win one on my own. That is a big deal, right? No hockey players actually touch this thing. Like D-Butt loves the Panthers. Gumpy loves the Dallas Stars. They're scared to touch it because they think they won't win. What is the theory around touching this, and who can, who can't? And why did I just make the Penguins Stanley Cup contenders again?
First of all, shout out to Mira. I met Mira earlier this year. Shout out to the keeper. She does a great job. She does her thing. And yes, keep that cup away from mess. He's seen enough of it. He's won it 6 times. He doesn't need to touch that thing anymore, okay? Let somebody else play with it a little bit. But I don't want to touch it because you know what? You got to win it. You got to win it. You either got to win it as a manager, player, coach. Doesn't matter. You got to win it before you can lift it. And I will say this. I know a few players who actually have said that they touched the Stanley Cup before they won it, and it didn't jinx them. They actually ended up winning it. I can't say the names, though. They told me this is all in confidence, so I can't say it.
Touch it.
So
Perfect.
I just believe that you shouldn't touch any trophy. Unless you've won it, you shouldn't lift it or hoist it. Like, you know what I mean? It's simple.
The Pens won so many.
Yeah,
we went
right.
back to back multiple times.
Part of the team.
And we were kind of a part of them.
Yeah, bingo. Down the
Relax. The Pens also stole one, too. You guys stole one from me in 16. You remember that?
Sorry about it. That's called earning it, pal. That's called earning it. That's why I get to do this, so you can't touch the thing. Isn't that cool that I'm allowed to touch it and you can't? How many years you played in the A?
Crosby.
Mocking.
What? Yeah. Was Florio on that team or was that Murray?
Man.
How'd they steal it from
Crosby. No, it's Crosby. Listen to me. It's Crosby. The third one completes, 3 chips for him. That's all Crosby. I remember that goal like it was yesterday. The breakaway goal coming through the middle, forehand, backhand. Yeah, that was it. It was all Sid.
So anyways, isn't it kind of suck for you that I can touch this thing, dance with this thing?
Yeah, what else?
And you committed your entire life to hockey and you won't ever get to touch. And I'm just here I am. Look at me. Look at me.
Look at me.
Look at me. I won a Stanley Cup. Drank out of it last year with Rupper.
That's right. Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
So is AJ,
you know what?
actually.
Here's the
Jack Johnson.
Only
You're
guy.
right, though. You're right. You know what, Pat? I can't touch it. But, I just wonder on a beautiful day like this, as beautiful as it is outside here in New York, like, I wonder what weather your Pacers are. They got to be in Cancun by now, right? Like, are they in Cancun?
Shut
Pacers?
Shut up.
Tell
That's
him,
what
PK.
I thought. Whoa!
Jay Tatum. Jay Tatum.
Fuck it.
What?
It was a sweet.
Hanging
PK.
on the rim.
Sweet. We had a lead in every one of those games.
Been doing that around Indy since PK did it.
Yeah, he did it the entire game on Saturday. Literally in the suite, just amongst other things, acting like a full asshole. The amount of Tatum, Jay Tatum,
Step back.
Jay Tatum never stops. So thank you for supplying Boston people with more shit to be assholes about. That's something they needed out of you. But let's talk a little. Let's talk a little bit more hockey, shall we? I thought you were a Rangers guy too, because remember you spent your birthday watching the Rangers. I think
right. Yeah.
You're on TV. Their show last night. You did a full song and dance whenever the Florida Panthers get the win about a minute into overtime. What's that all about? You're just excited about good hockey. You like that the series is tied. You like the goal, or what was this all about? I thought you were a Rangers guy, PK.
Dude, I thought it was my pick. I looked down and checked my phone. Puck's in the back of the net. I picked Barkov to score the winner. It wasn't even him. It was Reinhardt. So I was pissed off. I wasted the celebration. It wasn't even my pick. And to make matters even worse, nobody picked him. Nobody at our desk picked him. Mess didn't pick him, and Leaves didn't pick him either. So nobody picked him. So really, I ended up being pissed off because it wasn't my guy.
But how'd you feel about the win? You like the win? We like that the series is tied. This is good for hockey?
Listen, I got Rangers in 7. I haven't changed my pick in any of these rounds. I'm not going to change it. Once I make a pick, I stick to it. I had Rangers in 7. Florida deserved to win. I mean, to me, Florida deserved to win games 2, 3, and 4. Like, they deserve to win them. But that being said, something's got to be said for teams that find ways to win, and the Rangers have found ways to win. And I also got to give them credit. They've made adjustments. They haven't gotten frustrated with Florida in the way that they've played. They've stayed in the moment, and they've capitalized on their opportunities. And they've done it. They've changed their game. They've won and had success in different styles. So you got to say, you got to give them credit for that. I think also Peter Laviolette deserves a lot of credit because playing against the Florida Panthers, a team that plays that style, there's a lot of coaching changes and tweaks and lineup changes that you got to do. And I think he's done a really good job managing the team and managing the emotion of the Rangers through it all. So, but as a hockey fan, you're damn right I'm happy it's tied up 2-2. This thing's going 6 or 7 games, and I'm happy about it. It's been great hockey. It's been fun to watch. And for the first series, this is the first series all playoffs that I'm kind of hoping for overtime. Most of the other series, I want to go home. I want to go the hell home after the game. This one, I'm willing to stay up and watch overtime as long as I need to because I love seeing these two teams go at it. So I think the hockey's only going to get better in this series from here on in.
I don't know how scientifically it works. But the brightness of the ice, which I've talked about, is like light mode in your bedroom. Yeah. It's like hypnotized. It puts me to sleep almost.
Nice.
But it has for some of these other games. Some of these
very dark.
Not for Rangers and Panthers, though, because of the physicality. Like, it's such a physical game. There's so much talent. I feel like it's old school. It feels like an old school series, and I love the fact that it's being tied up. And, you talk about Laviolette or whatever doing it. Thank God we got Rempe back on you. I mean, geez, that you didn't have to be. You didn't have to be fucking Einstein to figure out that the Rangers might be better with Rempe, even though you were like, yeah, he's doing a good thing. You remember you said all that stupid shit. Yeah, you did. But we're back on it. We weren't asked to be a part of the box-to-box weight to skate.
No.
Full rubber on that.
Dumping rubber.
Yeah, dumping rubber. We weren't told about that at all. D-Butt's got a question for you, though, about the Panthers, though.
Yeah, PK, you mentioned the Rangers and their adjustments. Obviously, two very close teams. Games 2, 3, and 4 all went to OT. What adjustments do you see the Panthers make in Game 4? Obviously, leading to that Rhino overtime goal to end it.
Well, I think that first of all, for Florida, adjustments coming in on the road, I think they're comfortable playing on the road. We saw what they did in Game 1. I thought there was more pressure on the Rangers in Game 1, being at home. Obviously, handling the first two series kind of handily. They're clicking on all cylinders, but now we knew that they were going to face their toughest opponent of the playoffs. And Florida stepped up and came out and punched them right in the mouth in Game 1. I think that Game 5 is going to be the most balanced game of this series. And I think both teams, it's toe-to-toe. I mean, it's so difficult to pick. But Florida, they got to bury their chances. Igor Shesterkin has been the story of this series. And Bobrovsky hasn't been bad. It's not like he's been bad. He's been great. But Shesterkin, he's finding ways to make those impossible saves possible. And for the Rangers, they're getting confidence out of it. So even though that, the Florida Panthers are wearing them down on the cycle, they're dominating on the boards and in the battles, shot attempts, all of that stuff. Their team feels that Shesterkin's going to make all the saves when he needs to make them, and he has been making them. Look what it took to beat him yesterday. Verhaeghe's got to bat a puck out of the air. There's got to be a puck that goes in off his skate. The overtime winner is a perfect shot over his shoulder. That's what it's going to take to beat Shesterkin. And first of all, Florida's got to show that they're going to be able to put the puck in the back of the net when they get their scoring chances. Too many breakaways, too many missed opportunities. Barkov included, as great as he's been. So they got to finish. But can Shesterkin keep it up? Like, is he going to be able to keep up this level of play for potentially a 7-game series? I don't know, but I got to say this. Conn Smythe, it's got to be his to lose. If the New York Rangers get to the finals and end up winning this thing, that guy for me is a shoo-in for the Conn Smythe.
Igor Chance will be everywhere. Let's stick with the Rangers a little bit here. Seem to be super petty. What's up with Chris Kreider throwing a mouthpiece to Tkachuk and not even getting it out of the arena, not even out of the rink? Tkachuk actually was quoted as saying, I told him it was the best play he made all game. He said. Little pettiness.
And that's what I had said on the...
That one stayed in the rink there. That toss right there, he was throwing a mouth guard he got from Tkachuk. He was trying to throw it in the crowd, souvenir. Didn't make it out, hit the glass, went back down. Looked like a big dumb dipshit.
Yikes.
That's what they said. Look at big dumb Kreider, not even able to throw the mouthpiece out of the arena. That's what they were saying. I didn't say it. I'm saying people were saying that. PK.
Well, you know what? Kreider's got to do something to kind of get himself going, and I like the fact that he's getting involved. I'm sure Matthew Tkachuk had said something like, Bobrovsky's got more points than you in the series, which he does. I think he's got an assist, and Kreider doesn't have any points yet. But that can all change in Game 5 for Chris Kreider. It's a double-edged sword, right? You want to get in guys' kitchens. You want to get under guys' skin. But a guy like Chris Kreider, you got to be careful because you don't want to wake up that guy. I mean, he's the pound-for-pound strongest, most explosive guy in the series. Now, we haven't seen it yet. And we need to see more of it in this series. This series can't go by and he doesn't have a point or a goal. When people are saying last round, they want to put his jersey up in the Raptors, because of the way he performed. So I don't think it's just him. I think it's Zibanejad as well, who obviously hit the crossbar yesterday. But it's also Panarin. Like, those big guys are going to have to break out at some point in time. And they haven't done that yet. But last night you could see the frustration starting to come a little bit. And that's good. You know, listen, these last couple games of the series here, Chris Kreider shows up in Game 5 and has a big game. No one's going to be talking about the first 4 games of this series. So, you know, throw his mouth guard, throw his helmet, throw as many gloves, pieces of equipment in the stands as you want. You know, but Matthew Tkachuk doesn't care. His team's coming in your building 2-2, ready to take the Game 5. So he's got to be ready to go.
Let's stay with the Rangers on that note.
Yeah, PK, against Carolina, obviously Trouba almost took a guy out with a bow and then almost cut his head off on the way back down. And then, you know, there was another one the other night that people weren't too happy about. I remember you saying you still want him to play that way and still be flying around, but also you got to be a little careful. Are you worried that this series might turn into a bit of a gong show if he continues to throw bows all over the place? Or what do you think needs to happen? And do you expect another response perhaps from the Panthers, even though we are 2 games removed?
Well, I'll tell you this personally, guys. No one's listening or watching. I'm always up for a gong show. So I don't mind the gong show. Bring on the gong show. Let's go. But I will say this on the on Trouba.
Loves gong shows.
Amen.
I love a gong show. Who doesn't?
Me too. Love
Who doesn't?
Live for him.
Yeah.
Trouba, love the way he plays.
Gong shows are good.
People want to say he's a dirty player. I don't see him that way. I played against him his whole career in Winnipeg. He never had any questionable hits when he was playing in Winnipeg. This is part of his job. He's trying to bring a physical element to the Rangers, and he's done a great job. He's been a great leader for them. On these plays, though, I cannot play favorites. As much as I love the physical part of the game, and it isn't, I went on the record. It's not pickleball. I defended him when he tried to kill that Natchez last series and flew into the glass. You remember when I said, listen, love the intent, but if you hit him with your elbow, we're talking about something different. So I got to call it the way I see it. He makes elbow contact with his chin. Yeah, from that angle, you don't see it. But if you see the front angle, he hits him in the side of the head. Anytime you extend that elbow, you're getting called. I don't think that anything's going to boil over in this series, regardless of what happens, whether there's elbows being thrown, dirty plays, clean plays. You cannot get too emotional in this series now. It's a best-of-3 series. It's tight. All that matters right now is winning hockey games. Nothing else. You got all next season for payback. Right now, it's about the game on the ice, and it's too tight. There's no margin for error right now. Both teams are finding ways to score goals. You don't want to give any team any extra opportunities with their special teams.
Go ahead, AJ.
PK, when I look online, I see all this stuff that they claim the Florida Panthers are the bad boys of the NHL right now. What do you think when you hear something like that?
I think that the Florida Panthers are a team that play a brand of hockey that we're accustomed to seeing in the older generation of hockey, but it's a hybrid of it. They got guys that can put the puck in the net. I don't think they get enough credit for the skill. You look at their overtime winning goal, guys, don't dust it off. The way they move that puck around, I mean, they look like the Rangers on the power play. They look like the Rangers on the power play. Did they not?
Yeah.
Tell me they didn't.
They did.
Like
They
the
did.
Panthers.
They did.
All right.
They really
Well,
were moving.
this is what I mean. So we can talk about the physicality. We can talk about the scrums after the whistle. We can talk about them playing chippy.
Good tip.
I don't know about those hands, Pat. You wouldn't have a spot on that power play. Not with those hands. But give me a week. I could have you as a net front guy. I could have you as a net front guy in a week.
I'm right in front of the net right now.
Oh,
goal. Yeah.
Good tip. Good tip.
Goal.
Good tip.
Goal.
No, that wouldn't count. But I will say this.
Always moving the goalpost.
They deserve way more credit for their skill on that team. They don't get enough credit for their skill.
Mitts.
And last night it was on full display. Overtime winner was unbelievable. Their power play had to come through and they stepped up. Pat, roll your wrists over.
I am.
Roll the wrist.
I am. But
roll the wrist.
Wait a second. What?
Oh, tweener.
Shit.
Tweener.
Oh, shit.
Double 5-hole.
PK. I'm rolling wrists. Talking shit, rolling wrists.
Oh, shit.
Oh. What?
It's not bad, actually. He's actually not horrible.
Shut up, PK. I can hear you. I can hear you out here. Yeah, I grew up in hockey town, also baseball town. Don't know if you know this. Josh Gibson best baseball player of all time, statistically on record right now. He's a former member of the Homestead Grays in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Yeah, it's a big deal. There it is, right there, PK.
That's him.
Best baseball
Negro Leagues, that's right.
Hell yeah.
What's that?
Negro Leagues, that's right. Yes. Wow.
AJ, what's the name of the league?
I'm not exactly sure. PK's cutting out though. I can't really hear.
Can't say it.
All right, I hope happy it's all fun.
You could say Negro League.
Okay, yeah. All right, happy everybody's having so much fun today. It's been a blast. RC Awful announcing the Atlantic, Wall Street Journal. Mm-hmm. There's clipping it.
I love this show.
Listen to what this guy
New
said.
York Times.
That Atlantic article was hilarious.
Long, wasn't it?
Yeah, hilarious.
I couldn't read it. It was too long. I apologize.
Boy, when's our gong show? We got to get a group gong show going here.
All right,
Nashville's close.
What's a gong show, guy?
What's that mean?
You know what a gong show is.
PK, the gong show.
Let me explain it to him.
Okay,
we got to go for coffee. We got to go for coffee. I'll take you for coffee, and I'll explain to you what a gong show is. Just you and I, one-on-one.
That's never going to happen, so he's never going to know. I thought we were in the middle of doing that right now.
Just tell him.
A little bit of a runaway.
A brief overview.
Yeah, that's a good definition.
PK, we're going to have a gong show at the Elbow Room after the Panthers win the Cup. We're all going to be there. It's going to be awesome.
Might be in Texas.
See, he knows. You're right. My bad.
That might happen before. That might happen before the Panthers win the Cup. Just to.
I mean, we're close to Nashville. We can go down to Tootsie's.
A gong show is a shit.
We can tie one on at Tootsie's. I'll tie one on at Tootsie's.
What is that, Canadian? It's Canadian?
Yeah, you're just getting boosed up.
Slightly different Tootsie's.
It's a gong show.
Yeah. I just bet.
We can go to both.
Yeah, second floor getting shoulder rubbed on South Florida.
I'm in for that.
The Nashville Tootsies, you're just getting hammered drunk with a bunch of white people singing country music.
Yeah, singing Kid Rock.
It's like you on Pat's birthday, D-Butch.
That's a gong show.
Yeah, a little bit of a runaway. Pat's birthday was a gong show.
That was a gong show, wasn't it?
Ty's got a good definition of gong show, I think.
It is just a little bit of a runaway.
It's a bit of a runaway.
Got it.
Maybe a little bit more.
Okay, but here's my question. Is it going to be a bachelor party? Or are we going to, is it all dudes or is it all of us? Or just is it a bachelor party?
PK, you just got to find other groups, brother. What are you
who-
talking about?
just
It's your
real quick.
first gong show? What
Okay,
the
I'll
hell?
invite some friends. I'll invite some friends.
Okay.
Are you inviting us? Is that
us?
what does that mean? Who are the lads that you'll be inviting? Who are the lads?
Moose?
I wasn't going to invite any more guys. I was going to invite some girls. But
PK, it's
whatever
going to be
you guys
tough.
want.
I'm pretty married. It's going to be a tough one.
Well, I know
Moose
you're
and
out of the
Levy.
mix.
That's gonna be
I know
tough,
you're out of
so-
the mix.
Leah?
Not everybody is.
So hold on. So
Don't be
once,
selfish.
hey, listen, you guys have whatever gong show you want to have. Okay, listen, I'm not in the way of a runaway ever. Do you stop working?
I'm never going to meet anyone.
You mean like a spouse or you mean friends? What do you mean?
Yeah, like a wife?
Like a wife or a friend?
We do a dating game on this show.
Yeah, and I want to find love, man. I'm looking for love.
Okay.
All right, sweet. So that's
All
what we'll
right,
do
we'll help.
because once the NHL playoffs are over and the NBA playoffs are over, boy, we're fucked.
Yeah,
So a dating game for PK would be
All time.
Incredible.
would be awesome. Thank you for allowing us to do that. Thank you for bestowing that honor upon us. The Gong Show Love Edition with PK Subban. It is going to be.
idea.
They'll come right here. Right, we'll do it right here.
Yeah. Have a whole
Got a
runway.
definition now. All right.
Okay.
A situation
All right.
or event marked by chaos or incompetence. A free for all.
Bit of a gong show.
A bit of a
Bit of a
runaway.
runaway, yeah.
Another runaway.
Ty has a question for the loveless PK.
Yeah, PK. Obviously, all four of the teams left right now have
Are
their-
you going to give him a stick? You know how they have like rows?
Yeah.
Like he's gonna,
One of these.
you give him a mini stick.
yeah.
You keep your mini stick for another day.
Instead of the lover suite,
Congratulations.
instead of the lover suite, we'll call it the Dong Show room or whatever.
Yes.
What?
They get to take it. They
No,
take
they
it.
have to call it the memory box. I mean,
a bit too leading?
yeah, jeez.
Top bins, maybe.
We don't need to be associated with Dong Show. This guy's looking for love.
Put rubber on that.
You're trying to make a little bit of a Gong Show of the love show here.
A little bit.
And I don't like that.
And maybe the number one person gets like a bar, like bar down, and they get like a
Oh, you're a real bar Don.
like a special, yeah, like a
Well, at the end,
special
they're obviously
one.
getting Lordo.
How about Wayno? Is Wayno going to be gifted at one point? Wayne, just a picture of Wayne. You're the greatest.
I figured Wayno would be hosting this entire thing.
It's going to
Probably.
be tough to get him, I think, from what I've been told.
I mean, for anything for love.
For PK.
Come on,
We're here for you, PK.
fellow.
All I'm going to say, Pat, for all you guys, fastest way to grow a business is through referrals. So that's all I'm saying.
Okay. All right. Well, hopefully it's same for love. Ty has a question for you.
PK, of the four teams left, which two do you think provides the most entertaining Stanley Cup final?
Yeah, your potential wife is watching. Let's make sure we get a good answer.
I would have to say I'd like to see the Rangers in Dallas go at it. I really would. In a perfect world, I'd like Rangers in Edmonton just because I want McDavid in there. I do. Rangers, everybody benefits, the 30 years, everything. And with McDavid, be his first time in the Stanley Cup final, I think it'd be highly entertaining. But I think Dallas deserves it. I think their team, and I think the best final would be Dallas and the Rangers. I really believe that.
That's a great answer.
That's what I believe.
Way to get that. We didn't prepare you for that, and you were able to come up with that on the spot. That's the type of human you're potentially dating whenever you come on the Gong Show of Love for PK Subban.
Oh, man. And there can be a huge gong.
Oh, yeah.
When they get kicked out.
They have to hit the gong.
Yeah.
The gong has spoken.
Yeah. Oh, man. This is a home run.
Talk
to box.
So,
that could be the name of it.
How old are you, PK?
35. Just turned 35, May 13th.
Oh, happy birthday. Oh, yeah, we already said it.
Oh.
Yeah, too much.
Oh, yeah, before.
Yeah, we said before, the day of, after. Remember, he took 2 weeks off for his birthday.
How old do I look?
28.
Okay, I'll take that.
Yeah, it's 28 spot on.
Happy I can make you feel good about it. You do look like you're about 28.
I look older than PK.
Dude, I do an Epsom salt bath every day. I hope I look 28.
Yeah, we know. And also the massage 6 out of. You still doing the massage thing? Like today, how do you do the massage thing? Today's the one day off?
Well, today I had a busy morning, so I'll either have to get that massage later this afternoon or I'll miss a day. Sometimes I miss a day. Sometimes I miss a day. It's okay.
Yeah, you can miss. Sometimes you can knock at a massage. Yeah. Some days out of a year, you can grit and bear it and make it through without getting a massage. Yeah, one day, 365.
So what resort are those? Because I'm thinking of maybe going down to Cancun. What resort are those Pacers staying at? Are they staying at a place with a good spa? Or because maybe I'll go down there after the.
Let me tell you why you wouldn't get along with these Pacers, okay? TJ McConnell is in Pittsburgh right now. Okay, where did he go off-season? He's going to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Tyrese Halliburton, Indianapolis, Indiana. He's had a long morning this morning. We FaceTimed with him a couple times this morning. He's had a long morning this morning. He's going to be on the show, I believe, Friday or Monday, so he'll address all the things you're saying right now. The Pacers weren't supposed to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. They did.
I like the Pacers.
Oh, shut up, PK.
I think the Pacers.
Who wins tonight? Dallas Oilers. You like the McDavid story, so I think you're probably pulling for the Oilers?
I want the Oilers to win tonight. Yes, I do. I think Dallas, though, found their game. That Rope hence, it's just... the element that, what he brings to that team, they're very, very deep. I still think that Dallas hasn't played a full, complete game yet in this series. They're due for one, but you know how it is. This game is a tough one. This is going to be a tough one. Edmonton can't afford to lose this game. They know that. So McDavid and Draisaitl got to get on the scoreboard. You got to believe that Edmonton wins this game tonight. They have to win this game. It's a must-win.
Okay.
It's a must-win.
Hopefully Draisaitl and the boys will show up and we'll get another electrifying hockey conference final game like the East has been able to do. And before we get out of here, PK, one last gift from us to you because we missed your birthday. Go ahead and do it. Just go ahead and touch it. Go ahead and touch it. Just go ahead, zoom in a little bit more. Put it on the edge there, Foxy, so that PK can just put his head. Go ahead and just touch it. Just reach your hand.
Listen to me. I'm looking for love. Fastest way, like I said, referrals, guys. Focus here.
No, but touch the cup. Just give it like a little.
I'm not touching that cup. Get that thing away from me and keep it away from Messier, too. And that, you know what's terrible about that picture is that stupid jersey you got behind it. What is that?
Whoa.
Get that jersey out of there, Halliburton. It's beautiful, isn't it? I'd love to touch that thing, too.
Oh, Halliburton.
Halliburton's touched Stanley Cup for you, PK.
Wow.
How about that, pal?
Yeah.
Not right. Dude, imagine what's happened with that Stanley Cup, like what's been done with that. Can we talk about that?
So much canoodling, I assume, around this thing. What are some stories you've heard, PK, with the old Lord over here?
A lot of guns. I don't know if you really want me to tell those stories here.
Just one. Yeah. What is something that, because it's right here. It's the same one. This one.
Mm-hmm. Like, I've heard of that trophy being thrown off the top of buildings, in swimming pool, like just
Mario's.
like everything. Yeah, like everything. Anything you could have imagined. Anything that you could have imagined happening to that Stanley Cup, I think has happened.
Somebody's buying this thing?
Yeah.
Is the keeper always?
Put it this way, that Stanley Cup, I'll put it this way, that Stanley Cup has seen more action than all of you guys in that room combined. How about that?
Someone's putting
I'll leave it at that.
It's like 200 years old.
Genitals on it?
That's all I'm going to say.
You're saying people are making love to Lordo?
Figure out what action means. You guys can break that down, dissect that.
Heard Sydney couldn't fit, actually.
Really?
Coil it up.
Yeah.
Wrapped it like a
That's
poop.
what I heard. Sidney Crosby didn't have capability. So next time he learned, he went from the bottom.
Yeah, you should ask Sid. Ask Sid the next time. Okay. Ask him when he comes on.
We just got a chance to get a video or a photo from earlier. This is in real time. Oh, PK is right on the cup.
Oh, there he is.
Holy hell.
He's a part of the cup.
Look at you. Oh, my God. Congratulations, PK.
He did it. He touched it.
He touched the cup. He touched the cup. He touched the cup. He touched the cup. We're proud of you, man. We're proud of you. All right. Thank you. That was cool. It's a cool day. You finally did it. There's no reason I should be able to touch it and you don't, PK. No way.
Oh, you guys are something else. I love this show. Love this show.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Dude, that Cancun, though, I got to be honest.
Right,
that Cancun
PK Subban. Yeah, PK Subban. All right, PK. What's that guy's problem?
He's the best. Gong show of love. I cannot wait for that to start.
I mean, we should think about it, honestly. He draws a reaction when he's on this show.
Certainly.
When I talk to people that watch the program, they bring up, like, Austin Rivers. Didn't expect to like Austin Rivers. Hated Austin Rivers. Didn't expect to like Austin Rivers. PK, he's unique, huh?
He's something.
That's what a lot of people say. It's like, yeah, PK brings it every time he's on this show. I couldn't even imagine that box-to-box thing and then him just releasing who the people were on it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
They're going to be so mad.
He named like 7 people.
You're going to have to watch to find out more. It's like, that's a lot of people. I love PK. I love the time he gives us. And the man that we're about to have on the show is...
oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Professional.
Yeah. He's in the middle. He's right here. He's right here in the middle of it for the NFL for the last 30 years, maybe. Paisan from West Virginia. Lawyer, trailblazer in the sports blog, sports content industry. A man who sold his business multiple times for a lot of money to a lot of people. Paisano, Mike Florio.
Yeah, Florio.
Hey, let's go.
Thank you.
Let's go, Mountaineer.
I've never sold it once. I still own it all.
Now, didn't you license it?
Off.
Didn't you license it? You licensed it for sure. Like NBC Sports right now, it's currently licensed. Is that the case then? I'm sorry.
15 years as of July 1 with NBC. All of our content's exclusively licensed to NBC, but I still hold the equity. The equity is the key, as you know. The equity is the key.
Amen.
Keep the equity.
Paisan. Amen. And that entire thing. Sorry, forget. Who was it before? Were you just independent before? I thought you went licensed to another company before NBC?
No, it was all us. We were independent from November 1, 2001 until July 1, 2009. Completely and totally independent, and we've been with NBC ever since.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. 23 years, not 30. Not 30. Don't age me any more than I'm already aging.
Well, you're Italian, so it
years.
works good. Italians age gracefully, and you certainly have. Let's go Mountaineers. I see the polo. We're going to be good this year. Garrett Green's about to run wild. I was down there for the spring game. We got some talent, Florio. We got some real skill down there.
Yeah, look, college football is turned upside down, and I hope however it settles, we have a chance to compete, not just for a nice bowl game, but for a national championship one of these years.
We do. 12-team playoff. And Big 12 is still in the Power 4, whatever it is. And the Big 12, when the stories wrote, they're going to say, Texas and Oklahoma were scared of West Virginia. That's why they went run into the SEC so they could get out of the Big 12 away from West Virginia. But let's talk a little bit more about pro football talk, shall we? You are in the middle of every story that's potentially happening with every single team somehow. It'll be 11:30 at night. Something will come across your desk or wire. We got a tweet, we got a post, we got a story, and the next morning everybody's like, "Did you see what came out last night at Pro Football Talk?" Because of how long you've been around. The big story, I think, that you were afraid, and this is me. afraid to chat about on draft night, almost got legitimized by another writer in Minnesota. Justin Jefferson, you said you had rumblings during draft night that he was potentially going to get traded on draft night for Malik Neighbors' pick for the Minnesota Vikings. That ends up not happening. They get J.J. McCarthy. Now Justin Jefferson seemingly a part of the future with the Vikings. But once the Pioneer Press kind of report on that, the local newspaper, that gives you a green light to be like, hey, we're also hearing this, or we're hearing this as well. And where do you kind of sit on this particular story right now, Florio?
Here's what happened. During draft night, I heard from somebody I've known for a long time and I trust who was plugged into what was happening with the Chargers. The Chargers were contemplating a trade down from number 5. Jim Harbaugh, new head coach there, was all in on taking Joe Alt, the tackle from Notre Dame. There may have been some division in the draft room as to whether or not they should trade down, and I was told the Vikings were trying to trade up to get the LSU receiver Malik Neighbors. Now, Justin Jefferson wouldn't have been part of that package. I don't know what they would have done with Justin Jefferson. All I was hearing that night, and Chris Sims, who's with me on PFT Live every morning, heard the same thing separately from a different source, the idea that the Vikings are trying to get to 5 to get Neighbors. Now, Charlie Walters of the St. Paul Pioneer Press followed that up on Sunday with the 2-for-1. Justin Jefferson would have been traded after and separately from Malik Neighbors being acquired if they'd moved up. But I said it in a video because I was doing them one after another as the picks were being made on draft night, but I was never able to nail it down, so I never wrote anything about it. I never said anything more about it because I wanted to have it 100%, or at least as close to 100% as possible. Once I saw somebody else say it, okay, hey, I heard this same thing. Let's blast it out there and see what happens. But that's dead. That's over. I think they're going to get a deal done and keep Jefferson around. But I also think there's something to this idea they were exploring their options back around draft night and looking at maybe going a lot cheaper. You know, Jefferson, $35 million a year maybe. They could have gotten Neighbors for $29 million for all 4 years to start his career.
Yeah, and that's the balance of if you pay a wide receiver, you seemingly can't pay a quarterback. If you pay a quarterback, you can't pay a wide receiver. Cincinnati's going to have to deal with that. I assume somebody's going to bring that up to you with the new, because wide receivers are going to get $35-40 million top end. It's going to end up happening, and Justin Jefferson certainly worthy, and there'd be a lot of teams that'd be willing to pay him that to get a weapon as explosive as him. The thought of him potentially being traded was something that people were dreaming of around the NFL. I think the Patriots were even like, yeah, if you want to trade us Justin Jefferson, you can come up and get 3. Yep. You want to come up to 3, give us Justin Jefferson. I think a lot of teams felt that way. So the thought that maybe it was possible is certainly something we enjoy looking back on. But Justin Jefferson being a Viking seemingly is going to be the case regardless, which is kind of the thought of when they move on from Kirk Cousins, right? So it's like the Vikings kind of have this story arc where it's like, can't pay Kirk because what the Falcons are paying him is so much money. We're not going to be able to keep up. Have to pay Justin Jefferson. But then there's a thought, wait, well, if we get Malik Neighbors, do we need, and then it's wild what teams go through to get to the final product, Florio. I think that is kind of what this story exemplifies almost.
I think it's taken the Vikings time, guys, to come to terms with what it's going to take to get this done. You've got the raw dollars, and you've also got the structure. I reported a year ago tomorrow to the day that structural issues could keep this from happening. And it's plain and simple. It's how much you're going to fully guarantee at signing. The Vikings don't go as deep into the future as other teams do when it comes to the full guarantee at the time you put your name at the bottom of the contract. They need to deviate from that to get this deal done. I think they have to fully guarantee 3 years at signing to get Justin Jefferson done. And I don't think they've wanted to do that. So it's a combination of how much is it going to take by way of actual dollars, new money, average per year. I think he's looking at Joey Bosa's 34 a year as the minimum because the GM's already said he deserves to be paid like a top non-quarterback in the National Football League. 35 to 40, the sweet spot, but first 3 years fully guaranteed. So the Vikings have to come around on total average and structure. That's the key.
So good. Go ahead, AJ.
Mike, do we know what his relationship is like and Justin's agent's relationship is like with the franchise? And will this change anything? Like, can Justin, did he have any idea about this possibly being shopped and everything going on during the draft weekend?
Hey, that's a great point because this is the kind of thing that can drive a wedge between player and team. The good news for the Vikings, the best news is the quarterback they drafted in J.J. McCarthy is represented by the same firm. So it's a little easier to smooth things over and make it all work when quarterback and receiver under the same umbrella, there's a mutual benefit in both guys being as good as they can be. I don't get the impression that this neighbor stuff ever really blossomed to the point where it was a thing. And of course, now the Vikings are never going to admit it. People that cover the team are going to be saying that's not true. It wasn't going to happen because the ship sailed. It's not going to occur. You got to work it out with Justin Jefferson. Yeah, you pondered other possibilities. Let's forget about that. Let's keep this guy. And I think once the money's there and once the structure's there, nothing else matters. It's all part of negotiations and what you do to get to where you need to be. I think there's a good chance they're going to get to where they need to be, but the Vikings are the ones that have to have the epiphany on structure and dollars.
Well, the amount of teams that would call if Justin Jefferson was available would be through the roof. Yeah. So I think that's just standard operating procedure in the NFL, especially if you're a star coming up on a contract deal. So I don't think the Vikings even thinking about it at one point should drive a wedge. But all it sounds like is that Justin Jefferson's about to get like $100 million guaranteed to play wide receiver. Congratulations to him and to the Vikings, who seemingly have the quarterback of the future and the wide receiver of the present and the future, best in the NFL. We'll be back tomorrow on this beautiful ESPN network with more bullshit. That matters, though, because it's journalism. See you then. All right, we continue on YouTube and ESPN Plus and TikTok, which is still alive, Florio. Do you have any inside information on who's going to buy TikTok? I think we're running out of days.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on with that. I don't know anything about TikTok, and I was hoping, I would avoid it until I die. Maybe I'll avoid it until it dies.
Okay. Florio. Nice. I will say this, Florio. As a person who is certainly older than the generation of TikTokers, we have Talk, who does our Talk videos that get edited in there. There he is right there. He's the owner of a Cadillac Escalade 2002 with 16,000 original miles on it. Our TikTok community, incredibly positive. I mean, it is a very positive place down there. And it's college kids, high school kids. The comments are it's the nicest place.
Really?
It might be the nicest place on the internet. Yeah, they'll screenshot some of the comments and send me. I'm like, that's really nice to hear. You don't hear that in many places on the internet. So it's not.
You definitely don't see that on X.
No. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Florio. It's like not that bad. We need somebody to buy it. Maybe that should be you. Go ahead, AJ.
Mike, when you look on the rest of this from here until, I guess, let's say the season, not even the season, training camp, what's one thing that could possibly happen that we actually care about, that makes some news, that actually gets someone to, gets a GM to say, come out of his vacation home and make a call or something?
Yeah, look, I'm not aware of anything right now. I'm sure there's something. When you're plugged into everything that's happening, there isn't one thing that stands out. There isn't some major trade that I think could happen, which means a major trade will happen tomorrow. There isn't a looming contract problem. I mean, you've got guys who are staying away from OTAs, but those things tend to work out. The one hot spot where I feel like they just don't know how to get themselves out of the corner they've painted themselves into is the Cowboys. They've got the issue with Dak Prescott twice now. They've got the issue currently with CeeDee Lamb. And I don't think Micah Parsons is walking through the door until he gets his contract. And I don't know how they're going to work these things out. I think Micah should be the top priority, frankly. He's the future. He's one of the best defensive players we've seen in a very long time. But how the Cowboys are actually going to field a competitive team when they've handcuffed themselves over these three young players and they can't get out of this mess they made dating back to when they first had Dak Prescott's contract to renegotiate. I think that's what's amazing to me. I don't know why they have any real expectations. They're not better than they were last year. If anything, they're worse. And the Eagles, if they get their act together, the Cowboys are going to have a rough year. And it's all because they're stuck in this mud with Prescott, Lamb, and Parsons.
And it's definitely a prove a year for Big Mike, right? I mean, this is...
Yes.
Yeah, right? So he's...
Last year of his contract.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones, for as rich as he is, he's cheap. And he doesn't like to pay people to not work for him. He didn't fire McCarthy primarily because he would have had to pay him to not work in 2024. So play out the year, and I think Belichick, your guy, Belichick may be the ace in the hole next year if it doesn't work out with McCarthy.
He might enjoy media too much to go back to coaching. I mean, there's a chance. The shit that he's lined up for this fall should be pretty epic.
Awesome.
Like what Bill is going to do this fall, I think should be pretty epic. For a guy whose press conferences were must watch for him saying nothing, I think there's about to be a lot of football knowledge that's about to get spilled. Does that heighten the interest from teams for Bill Belichick? I would assume yes. That would certainly be the yes. But people have tied him to Dallas literally since
from jump
the moment. Why is just because Jerry and Bill could coexist? Why is that the case? And what are some other situations you think that are maybe looming for old Bill Belichick if he gets back into the game of head coach?
If you look back at the press conferences from the times the Cowboys and the Patriots have played each other in recent years, and they don't play very often, every time Belichick glowing about Jerry and Stephen Jones and the work they do in Dallas, the team they've put together. And Jerry, after he issued the statement that Mike McCarthy isn't getting fired, at some point after that, he talked about how he could employ Bill Belichick. Now, some would say when it's time to actually go do it, Bill may not like the way Jerry does things. But I think they could get together because I think that's the one place where Bill Belichick wouldn't feel compelled to take over. Let Jerry and Steven and the structure they have in place put the team together. You don't need to shop for the groceries to cook the meal if you have a fully stocked kitchen, and the Cowboys have plenty of talent if they can figure out how to keep them around. But I think what he's doing with you this year, what he's going to be doing with Peyton this year is genius because one of the big challenges for Bill Belichick, I believe, is to get a fan base sufficiently excited about 72-year-old Bill Belichick walking through the door in 2025, because I don't think there were many fan bases clamoring for him after it went sideways in New England. But if he does more stuff with you like what he did during the draft and when he's on Peyton's show on Monday nights, I mean, that's a way for him to maybe light the fuse to get a fan base saying, we want that guy next year. And ultimately, it's a business about getting people to show up for the games and watch your games and feel good about the team. You get a fan base behind, or multiple fan bases behind Bill Belichick, he'll have a job next year.
He was awesome at the Draft Spectacular.
Unbelievable.
The night before the Draft Spectacular, at our little production dinner, we'll call it, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just the whole lead up to it, awesome. He was... And obviously the stories and the amount of respect that every person in football has for him. You just walk by people that are legends in football, and they're the ones that are going out going, Mr. Belichick, Mr. Coach Belichick, Coach, like trying to tell the stories. It's fascinating because he's how many games away?
I believe he is 14 or 15 wins away from setting the record.
Being the all-time winning coach, it's like as competitive as he is, as much of a historian of the game that he is, I mean, that's obviously just sitting there, lingering at all times. I'll be excited to see how it works out. Go ahead, D-Butt.
AJ kind of asked you if you were tapped in on some off-season news that will come up, but I was still want to ask you about Tua and the Dolphins, that contract potentially getting worked out sooner than later, as well as Dak. You obviously spoke on Dak. And then Pelissero put out something about the off-season potentially changing and the union, want more off days and a ramp-up period going into training camp. Have you heard any more information on that?
I'll start there and go backward. Yep. Back in February, right before the scouting combine, somebody from the union told me that they were looking into this possibility. It wasn't matured to the point where they were ready to consider making a proposal. Here's the problem. Setting aside whether or not the teams would want to do it, whether or not enough of the players want to do it, I feel like a lot of players don't even know about it yet. And it's being dropped out there by a reporter who works for the NFL. That's not exactly the way I want to find out about it if I'm a player. So they need to do better communication with the players. But we got to understand, anything the union wants happens in this context of collective bargaining, which means you go to the table, the league's on the other side, you tell them what you want, and even if you sell it as a win-win, they're going to say, what's in it for us? What do we get? And my concern is if they tiptoe toward that table saying we want to revamp the offseason, the league's going to say, fine, we want 18 games. Because as you guys know from talking to Goodell, the day after round one, they're waiting for their chance to make the move for 18. They wanted 18 games for 15 years.
He said 17's good for now. That was literally his answer whenever we said, how quickly, because we all saw it, anybody that's been around football knows, once we gave them 17 games, and by we, I mean players, it was like 18's, I mean, that is right around the corner. And he felt the same exact way, Florio, to your point. He was like, yeah, 17's good for now. I hate the preseason. He said, I hate the preseason. But yeah, 18 would certainly be something. You add in a bye week there. And then I think the timing of the year, he said it would end up being on President's Weekend. President's Day weekend, which would give you Monday off after the Super Bowl anyways. So they've already have it all mapped out, Florio. And would it be an off-season reshuffle of the schedule that would be able to get 18 games past the NFL player? I don't know. That seems like that'd be
It would take more. It would have to take more. but that's why my advice to the union, I'm working on an item I'm going to post later this afternoon. My advice to the union is don't lead with, hey, we want a new offseason program. Just sit back and wait. They're going to come to you and ask for 18 games. Get your ducks in a row as to what you're going to ask for, because they'll give you stuff that doesn't cost them any money. They'll be all over this revamped offseason program because it doesn't cost the owners a single penny. It might even save them money if they have less total time that the facilities are open between the end of the season and the official start of go out and practice and get ready for season training camp. So get a long list of things you want, because it's one thing to try to get 18 games when the CBA expires and you say to the union, you better agree to 18 games or we're going to lock you out and we'll shut the game down for a whole year, and we know you won't. Versus coming to them before. At some point in the next 2 or 3 years, you better have something you're giving them, because they could just sit back and say, we have a CBA that's in place until 2033. You can't get to 18 games until 2034 at the earliest. So you better have something. So my advice is put your list together, NFLPA, and sit back and wait for them to come to you and then say, here's all the shit we want if you want to go to 18 games.
Florio, the NFLPA has always been genius when it comes to this stuff, haven't they?
Here's the problem.
What?
Bottom line, here's the problem.
They stink at business?
Well, no. They learned in 1987 when the strike failed after a week or two. You've got a fundamental imbalance as it relates to the will of the parties. The owners will shut it down for a whole year. They won't think twice about it. You know why? Because they're going to own the team forever until they die. They've got that. We miss a football season. Oh, well, I got 30 more before I croak. If you're a player, how many years do you have? And you're going to give up a whole year of playing and the salary that goes along with it. And then next year when it's time to play again, you haven't played in a year. You're expensive. You're competing with guys fresh out of college who played last year. And hey, I may lose my job even faster than I would have by taking a year off. The players will never shut it down for a year. The owners will. And I'm amazed the owners haven't taken more advantage of that fact.
Well, let's not put that into fucking universe.
What the hell?
Okay,
I'm just telling you, if they wanted to do it, they could.
You said I'm working on an item for this afternoon. Let's not put that on the paper. Okay, we don't
I've
need
written
that.
that before.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we know. Yeah, we've seen it. But I always just thought like there would come a time, and I guess whenever you're negotiating with 30 billionaires or 31 billionaires, depending upon Mark Davis's status with the taxes and everything else going on there, like they would understand business. Like, hey, okay, we need each other here. Let's go ahead and do this. But you're also dealing with like lawyers of some of the richest people on earth at that exact time. And they're not necessarily in the business of like, that is good faith. Yeah, you're right. We will stop testing for weed because it's seemingly legal in like 38 states and it's stupid and we gotta do it. We will just drop that. Instead, it's, you want us to stop testing for weed? Okay, we need an 18th game then. It's like everything can't just be for another game. It's like, no, that's how it goes. And I guess I'm just naive to the fact of thinking that there should be a little bit more of this in an understanding between the NFLPA and the NFL, when I guess that's just not possible, huh? It's just never going to be possible? Good business.
You're absolutely right. That's the way it should be. And the idea from the league's perspective, hey, you guys wanted a union, this is how it goes. It's collective bargaining. But think of it this way. If there wasn't a union that binds all 32 teams together, everything the league did would be exactly what college football is going through right now. Everything you do is an antitrust violation because it's 32 different businesses trying to rig the labor market. The draft would be an antitrust violation. The salary cap would be an antitrust violation. The franchise tag would be an antitrust violation. The union gives the NFL the ability to run the business the way it currently does. So the attitude of, hey, tough shit, you wanted a union, you got to deal with this. I agree with you. There should be a greater spirit of cooperation. There isn't, because you still have that push and pull, that back and forth that is inherent to any labor management relationship. And that's just the way it is. Yeah. And hey, we've had one true work stoppage since 1982.
It was awesome.
And that was the 87 strike. Oh. The 2011 thing, we didn't miss any games. We missed the Hall of Fame game. Big fucking deal.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome. All off season, we have no. Yeah, I didn't get drug tested for them. I was in the middle. It was. That was
remember that off season.
Yeah, that was an awesome off season. Yeah, we all loved that. But go ahead. You said there has been no work stoppage since 87?
Yeah, no, there's been no work stoppage. And so they have, they have a balance to all of this. I still think the players should get more, Easier said than done. I'm a firm proponent in the players who are up for new contracts getting everything they can. The salary cap gets used against them. This idea of you need to try to win games and championships gets used against them. The fans are used against them while the owners are sitting around on the 350-foot yacht, smoking a cigar and checking their stock portfolios and buying Bitcoin.
They ain't looking in their stock portfolios. They have somebody telling them how the stock portfolio. They're like, NVIDIA is good. We just learned that today. I just learned that there's another company that's the wealthiest and biggest of all time. I thought Apple and Amazon were doing it. This NVIDIA, I've never even fucking heard. They're the ones. They're going to own a team. They're going to own a team soon. That's just what I assume is going to take place. So let's get back to some football talk. Go ahead, Con, man.
Yeah, Florio, of the teams that drafted rookie quarterbacks in the first round this year, are you hearing anything out of those places about, guys either overperforming or possibly underperforming? I know out of New England, the thing with Drake May has been the same conversation as it was before the draft. Just, he's got a long way to go. Is there anything else you're hearing that was a little surprising or very positive for some of these fan bases?
The thing with Drake May is really strange because he was the most raw of the 6 rookies taken in the first 12 picks. He's the guy who needs the most time to grow and develop, but there was a lot of demand for him. The Giants wanted to come up to number 3, supposedly, and get him. The Vikings were trying to move up from number 10 to get him. He was their first choice at quarterback. The Patriots stay put and they take him. But when you read between the lines of the things that are coming from guys like head coach Gerard Mayo, they want to give him time. Because the problem is, once you put him out there, you can't take him back. Once that rookie, once that hot shot top 3 quarterback is on the field, if he struggles, you're messing him up if you start yanking him out of the game and putting Jacoby Brissett in. So I think they'd like to give Jacoby Brissett the opportunity to win the competition, a real competition, and give May time to develop, because who really expects much from the Patriots this year? The cupboard's bare. They need to rebuild it. It's not like they're going to be a playoff team. Let's give May a little time to develop so he's not in over his head. I think that's the big concern there. The other guys taken in round 1, other than the whole Penix Cousins thing, who the hell knows what's going to happen there? But the other guys, I expect they're going to get them ready to play right away.
Penix Cousins was making comparisons to what happened in Green Bay, even though Aaron had been there for like 16 years at that point and knows people. But now Green Bay does have a discussion about a first-round quarterback that they drafted.
Yeah, Mike, everything we've heard coming from Green Bay is basically said like, hey, there's no ill will. There's no kind of like, hey, we need to get this deal with Jordan Love done right now. He showed up to OTAs, but are you hearing or privy to any kind of like timeline as to when a new deal will get done? And do you think what he did in the back half of last season is good enough where he's going to fall right in line with like what Jared Goff got this offseason or some of these other top earning quarterbacks?
I think it's going to be a challenge to get him to Jared Goff's level, but I thought it would be a challenge to get Jared Goff to Jared Goff's level. I didn't think the Lions would give him $53 million a year in new money. I thought that kind of money was only reserved for that handful of guys who can run the play that's called, and then when the play that's called goes to shit, can go out there and make chicken salad out of it on the fly. And Goff really isn't that guy. So that changed everything. You mentioned Tua earlier, and I never got around to the Tua position, but I think the Goff contract makes Tua want more, makes Matthew Stafford want more, makes Jordan Love want more. Now, I think that Love's camp is confident they're going to get a deal done. But it's easy to say yes or no. Does a guy need a new deal? Yes. The harder part is, how much are we going to pay? What's the cap hit? What's the structure? Tua definitely deserves a new deal. How are we going to figure out the right number? Jordan Love, absolutely. How do we project the right number based on half of a season of turning it around? Because the first half of the 2023 season was rough. So that's always the challenge with these deals. But when the Lions give Goff 53, it makes it easier for the other quarterbacks to say,
wait a minute,
we kind of like that number.
Well, Jared Goff has been a pillar of this brand new Lions team up there with MCDC. And Evan Fox, he goes from losing Matthew Stafford, and not just Foxy, all of Detroit. We're giving up. We're the only team that'll take on Jared Goff's $30 million a year contract. We're the losers in this whole thing. To the only chant that they have in Detroit that we heard, the only chant is Jared Goff. That's literally what they chant. Like some cities, like, here we go, Steelers, here we go. Like you can hear that anywhere in Pittsburgh, right? People get drunk enough.
Or Fire Canada. You'll still hear Fire Canada this year.
Bingo. So
those
are the chants, that you have in cities. Every city has one of those. The only one that Detroit has is Jared Goff's name. It's like the story has been completed for Goff in Detroit, which is wild to even think of.
Yeah, exactly. And because of the history of the Lions, they had to pay him that money no matter what. And if they didn't, Lions fans would be like, here we go, same old Lions, we ruined it again. So I'm happy they gave him all that money.
MCD.
See, that you hit the nail on the head. Because, look, one team wins the Super Bowl every year, if you haven't heard. Newsflash. One team wins it every year. The other 31 got to figure out how to make money. They got to figure out how to keep their stands full. The Lions jacked up season ticket prices this year in a significant amount.
Big time.
You got to keep the customers happy. They got to be happy. They love Jared Goff. You got to pay Jared Goff. Is it money well spent from an X's and O's standpoint? TBD. Remember when the Rams paid him in 2019? I was saying, don't do it, Rams. Don't do it. Be the team that breaks this mold of, hey, the next quarterback that's up for a new contract becomes the highest paid player in the history of football. Resist it. They did it anyway. 2 years later, they had to give up a first-round pick. They tucked that first-round pick, that extra first-round pick, into the Matthew Stafford package. Think about that. Stafford for Goff, and the Lions get 2 1s and a 3. It was a 1 and a 3 for Stafford, and it was a 1 to please take this contract off our hands. I hope the Lions don't feel that same way 2 years from now.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
No chance.
Not the guys that got with those picks.
And they paid everybody on their team.
Yes.
Seemingly, somehow, paid everybody. That's why they're jacking up those tickets, I'd assume. I didn't know that. Sheila Ford Hamp's trying to gouge Detroit now. I mean,
Yeah, people are really upset
Well, they
about
were
this
so
because
bad,
they're
I
saying
think
like
it's just the league
everyone from the
average now.
suburbs and all the, the bad fans are now going to be the ones that can afford the tickets, and now they're going to move all the other fans
I thought Sheila
out.
Ford Hamp loved what was going on. As soon as you get an opportunity, though, huh?
I guess this is what happens.
And that goes back to my question about the NFLPA and the NFL ever just being able to.
That ain't how you become a billionaire.
That's economics, baby.
Sheila Ford Hamp was born
Unfortunately.
a billionaire, I think. Actually, that's how she became, right? Just came into the world.
Yeah.
I wonder if her and Terrence Howard have memories, from the womb when she was a billionaire.
I bet.
Yeah, but just gouging Detroit. I didn't know that was happening. I just learned that right now. Wow.
Yeah, I guess people are really, really upset about it.
Oh, boo.
So what, they went
Yeah,
from
like how much what happens when
they
you're
went
good
from
at football.
$5 to $100? Yeah.
Yeah, Mike, we'll
They went
jump
from
in.
winning 0
Welcome to
games to
Detroit.
winning a lot of games.
Here, the Lions announced that they have raised ticket prices for next season. I was listening to Metro Detroit area, this afternoon, and caller said the season tickets went from $4,000, which is very low, to $11,000 next season.
Feels right.
Okay, so Sheila Ford Hamp said, we've been in the 90s, okay, because of how bad we are.
Yeah.
We're getting back to where we are now. We have a football team. Wow, hope that doesn't scare any Lions fans away.
Probably will.
Hope that doesn't bum any Lions fans out because this is the brand new Lions. Things are supposed to be on the up and up. Remember, the only bad thing was that halftime performance at Thanksgiving.
That's right.
Now all of a sudden we're charging.
So bad.
Jeez. Last question here, Florio. We appreciate you from Tone.
What's that?
No, I see why the performance so shitty. They only charging $4,000 for season tickets.
Yeah, they were already very cheap.
Have enough money.
We paid more money for Fever season tickets than the Lions fans are paying. I don't think you guys should be that mad.
That is not bad at all.
What a luck. You want to go to a game in Detroit? Sure, give us 14 cents. Get your ass in here.
That's it.
Oh, my God.
NFC North champs.
Sheila Ford Hamp's like, I'm losing money hand over fist. What are we
$4 grand.
You see what the inflation is? You see what we're charging? I mean, we got
9 games.
My God.
Come on.
$4,000?
That's how it goes.
You get fucking 6-pack of beer and a couple free hot dogs with every game, too.
Jeez
Jesus
Louise. We're trying to run a business up there. Sounds like a soup kitchen going on. Not anymore, though. No. Now that they're actually charging people and making money, are they going to be able to win? We shall see. Last question here for you, Florio. We appreciate you.
Florio, Matt Canada got a reference back there a couple minutes ago, and Artie Smith is in there, and everyone's raving about him. But who's going to be the quarterback? Because all the reports, Russ Wilson is the pole position. Tomlin loves Russ Wilson. Everybody loves Russ Wilson. But Fields said he's not there to be the backup. Do you believe how happy everybody is with Russ Wilson so far?
Well, first of all, my thought, it was a Saturday night. I was down in the barn. I was a few drinks in, and we get the news that Justin Fields has been traded to the Steelers, and I had to compose myself and do a fucking video on Saturday night, trying to slur my way through Justin Fields going to Pittsburgh. But even in my impaired state, I knew right away one name came to mind. Cordell Stewart. Because even if Justin Fields isn't the starter, I think they get him on the field in packages where maybe Russ splits out wide. Maybe it's just like, remember, we used to see the old Wildcat. That was the thing for a couple of years before the defenses figured out how to shut it down, and then that was it for the Wildcat. But I think they're going to get him out there in certain situations. And I also think, you mentioned pole position. That's what Tomlin said at the league meetings. Russell Wilson's in the pole position. Well, I don't know a whole lot about auto racing, but I know enough that the guy in the pole position doesn't always win.
New Garden.
So They got a long way to go here. And think about the Steelers fans. Think about preseason. Think about Justin Fields out there. If he's the second teamer running circles around the second string defense, and those Steelers fans fall in love with Justin Fields, they're going to be chanting Justin Fields just like they're chanting Jared Goff in Detroit, and the fans are going to push him onto the field unless Russ comes out and he's cooking like Seahawks days, not Broncos days.
Yeah, and Artie Smith is going to have to be the one that has success on the offensive side of the ball. Anytime you follow somebody that's terrible at something, normally you're going to be held in good graces. So Artie coming in after Matt Canada, what a dream position for him. And he needs to bring that mustache back so he can really go over in Pittsburgh. But like Justin Fields, it was, there was a conversation about him maybe being a returner. He came out and said that's not real. No. But if he is the next coming of Slash in Pittsburgh, welcome back to beautiful times for Yinzers all over the world.
Yeah, I saw a report.
Hey, that kickoff thing, we're not talking about that enough. That kickoff thing is going to change everything, and they can't practice it in OTAs. Andy Reid said that last week. How can you practice? You can't have full speed practice. You're going to have weird kicks. Somebody was saying, I think it was Sean Payton, we want guys who are basically like third basemen and shortstops who can, because the ball's going to be coming in weird and landing in that zone. This is a revolutionary change to the game, and it is going to have a major impact on this season. It's going to change field position, and the teams that figure it out. And if you do put Justin Fields back there with Cordero Patterson, holy shit. Can you imagine what the Steelers are going to do in that kick return game? Get the ball at the 40 instead of the 20? You're going to score a lot more points that way. That is the thing that I think has been most underplayed this offseason, what this kickoff change is going to do to the game.
Yeah, get the ball at the 40 instead of the 20. You're only 2 first downs away from points as opposed to 4. I mean, that is a vastly different series and a way to attack things. Think about like Tyreek Hill back there. Cool. Everybody's on a stance.
Hill and Waddle. How about Hill and Waddle back there?
I mean, and McPherson came out and said it's a weird kick, obviously, because hang time does not matter at all. McPherson, kicker for the Bengals, who's been a stud, says it's definitely interesting. It brings a lot of placement into play. It's all touch. It feels weird for me. I'm used to kicking it as high as I can, as hard as I can. Now I have to throw it inside the 5-yard line in specific areas. It's definitely an adjustment. You have to play the wind a lot more now. It's like those late games, especially in the AFC North, if you're going into a wind, I mean, where you land, it's a big deal. But hang time does not matter at all. So you're going to see a lot of those knuckle balls. You're going to see a lot of lower balls and pitch balls from the kickers. And then return game, because the 2 returners are allowed to move for the ball. Throwbacks. I mean, 1,500 more plays they're projecting are going to happen. 1,500 more plays.
More points.
It's amazing what they've done. They started back in 2009, 2010, when they finally took concussion seriously. They started restricting the kickoff down to the point where it was a dead play. That's what Troy Vincent, the executive VP of football operations, was calling it, a dead play. They've gone to the absolute extreme now, where it's going to be a live play. It's going to be something like we've never seen before, all because they've taken out that space where guys can run at each other and bang their heads and suffer serious injury potentially when they dip that helmet and the neck takes the forces. And we have the Kevin Everett thing that happened, the Eric LeGrand that happened at Rutgers. That's what they've been trying to avoid. Now everyone's bunched together, and that goes out the window.
No, there's not the full speed. That's why they're bunching them together. The full speed.
That's it. They bunch them together to keep them from getting to full speed. But if that Tyreek Hill or Justin Fields or Cordero Patterson, all those guys are bunched together, you pop once, you're gone. Yeah. You're gone.
Yeah. All you need is one lane discipline, little miss, and it's gone.
30 back.
Yeah. It's going to be a lot more touchdowns.
I think so.
Definitely a lot.
That's
more.
Awesome.
We got guys out here running 10-2, 10-1. They'd only take one little seam
out of there.
Well, on the ball toss, that everybody's comfortable with throwing the ball.
Yeah, like an option.
Like everybody's comfortable with throwing the ball. You think about I lost it.
Hey, they're going to need you out there. They're going to need you blowing up Trendon Holiday.
Can't get past the 50. Believe me, that was my...
The kicker's got to be back there. The kicker's all alone. Well, kicker, go make the play. Go put Trendon Holiday into the first row like you did that night.
Hey, man. He wasn't the only one. Go watch the tape.
Stay behind the 50?
Yeah. Not allowed to cross the 50. So you got to kick it. Let alone optically how weird it's going to be. Like, I'm excited to see how they set it up visually on the camera You know how they're going to do it. Oh, yeah, what I want to say is the XFL had this, obviously. Something similar. There is difference, but the XFL brought this in. And this has been a kickoff practice thing for a long time. It's to save the legs. This is literally kickoff practice drill. XFL put it on the thing. XFL guys are running 4.8s. You know, no offense. Nobody's running a 4.2, 4.3 in the XFL. If they were, they would be in the NFL. So, like, I don't think the success rate in the XFL for returns were as high. But if you watch a couple of those kickoffs, you get a guy who's got real juice back there.
Oh, yeah.
You're talking about some real space.
Like Worthy with KC.
Yeah, 4-2-1.
Yeah, if he gets going.
And Tony, you put Tony on the other side.
Bingo.
Probably at least one on
every team.
You know what I mean? If they obviously got to make the roster now, they got a much better chance of making the roster now. 1,500 more plays. So now it's great for those young kids who have opportunity. And probably some obviously Cordero. We talked about Waddle Hill, maybe in like certain situations, not every time, but definitely going to be a huge change in the game.
If you can get the ball in your playmakers' hands, I mean, let's do it.
The biggest thing is from the NFL and the other league is you can't move in the NFL. They was letting them go ahead and take off. So it's going to be way more returns for touchdown because I'm going to be able to get my speed up together, and you ain't going to be able to run until I catch the ball.
Yeah.
So imagine these fast guys doing 4x100 relay, and you can't move, and then you got to adjust to them after they already.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of. I think there's going to be a lot of this.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a lot of
leverage
as opposed to trying to get down the field. But once again, you're going to have to figure out that side of it too as a special teams coordinator with the players that I think Bill Belichick brought up during draft night. He was like, the type of players now that you're going to try to get on your kickoff team is a completely different style of human that you would have to run for your special teams. He was like, this is, to your point, a lot bigger conversation than I think anybody's having right now, but it's just kickoff. Who cares?
Pac-Man made a great point, though, and I hadn't thought of this. Because everybody else has to stay frozen in place, you can practice this idea of, I know where the kick's going to land, and I'm going to start sprinting, and I'm going to catch it while I'm moving. I'm not going to wait and like catch it flat-footed like we see now. I'm going to learn how to run to it, catch it, and I've already got a head of steam, and everybody else is standing still. See you later.
Yeah, that's standard stuff for kickoff returners at this stage. Like, they are hitting the ball moving forward normally, which is why those fucked-up kicks are going to...
I'm talking about... I mean, you can get to. You don't have to worry about anybody hitting you. You can get to full speed now.
Oh yeah, that's wild. It is and there's no, like the XFL, they had a whistle whenever the ball touched somebody that you're allowed to start. The NFL doesn't want to do the whistle because they think it's too many whistles. So there's going to be like a sign, I think, when people are allowed to. That's going to be a cluster.
Nightmare.
That is going to be. I mean, there's so much to it. How about video, like TV wise? What do you?
Hey, what if you go to get it? What if you go to field it? You see, hey, I can't catch it, and you get away from it, and it doesn't touch you. Then
if it's in the landing zone, it's live ball. If it's
still live when it hits. When it hits the landing zone, it's live.
But if it hits landing zone, goes into end zone, just 25-yard standard touchback or whatever. You know?
No. If it goes into the end zone,
no.
Well, if it hits and goes in, I think it's a standard touchback. If it lands in there, you get it like at the 30.
Yeah.
And if it lands short of the landing zone, you get it at the 40.
Yeah, it's like kickoff out of bounds, pretty much. Yeah, it's wild. There's a lot of shit.
It's going to be, and here's what's going to happen. I don't want to say 90%. Let's just say 70% of the people who watch the games week in and week out during football season check out after the Super Bowl. When they show up, September 5,
why is that
NBC,
fucking? There's one guy,
and they're gonna be like, "What the fuck is going on?" You know?
Why is that? Why is old buddy not?
They changed something?
Is that the team, or is there a penalty? Was there a penalty?
Especially like teams
one-on-one.
Like growing up in Pittsburgh, like there's NFL fans that only pay attention to the Steelers, and they're week one. I'd say 90% of Yinzers have no idea this rule's a thing.
TV. It is going to be alarming on TV. I think. Like
college still has old school, right? College and high school still doing old school kickoff. So people would,
5-yard run up, I think, for college, right? Instead of the old school 10.
Yeah.
I think they moved it to 5-yard run up, whatever it is. Hey, Florio, thank you for taking time for us today.
It's great, man. Great talking to you guys.
You know we got Stanley Cup in town. Lordo's here.
Oh wow. Oh man, Stanley Cup's awesome.
It is.
I love the Stanley Cup.
Pens suck.
Great.
Yeah, Pens suck though. Pens are.
I know that's made me less interested in it. But you know what? The thing about to anybody out there. Go to a hockey game. Mm-hmm. I think once you go to a hockey game, you develop an appreciation for it. Once you go to a game and understand what offsides are and icing, you're good to go. You're a hockey fan for life.
I still get confused by some icing calls. I still get confused.
Yeah, it's very fickle.
Yeah,
it is.
Because there'll be a race going on, and then they blow it. and then sometimes they don't blow it.
What are we doing here? Let the boys play.
Hey, remember the two-line pass? They got rid of the two-line pass a long time ago. The two-line pass was horrible.
You know what they?
I never understood that fucking thing.
You know what they got rid of that we need to bring back? These pucks need a little tail on them.
Oh, the fox, the little red tail.
It was too much though. I think Fox did too much. You know, it was like we just went way too far too quick. If we just had a little tail on that thing, I think it'd be much easier to follow.
I think they need to get drones, and they need to create the angle like when you're playing the EA game. I think when you see the plays unfold that way, you get a much better appreciation of hockey.
So the Stadium Series, they have those.
Oh,
yeah.
Sick.
The Stadium
Sky
Series
Cam.
has the Sky Cam in the stadiums, and it's awesome. To your point, it is awesome. It is amazing.
That should be the default. That should be the default view. Seeing the play as it develops, I think people would get a much better appreciation and understanding of hockey if that was the case.
Where's the puck? You guys are saying.
Yeah,
Goal.
we should do that for every play in the NFL too, like Madden.
All right, Nick. That's a hockey purist back there that just called you a fucking idiot, but without saying.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, see, well,
That's what he just.
Sorry, guy. I don't know.
Hey, here's a Bison. Here's a Bison as well. But that is what he said in an answer to you. That is what. Is this? Yeah. Here's the
Bring
little.
back the glow.
Here's the glow of the puck as opposed to yeah.
Nah, that's Mickey Mouse.
Yes, exactly. That's what.
What year was that?
That's too much.
Technology's come a long way
The glow
now.
is great. The red tracker's horrendous.
Don't need the red tracker.
Yeah, that's too much.
The tech right now is so much better. I don't
That's the
even-
old Gretzky. That's the old Gretzky video game.
Yeah, I don't.
Too much.
How you gonna know if a guy blasts one?
You're right.
It only goes red if it's a slapper.
Yeah,
boys.
exactly.
No, it was on a pass. It went red on his pass.
Hockey's awesome. Florio,
Look,
it
but-
does feel like the Penguins' glory days are potentially going to have.
Time to dismantle.
Yeah.
The glory days have passed them by. The problem is the glory players are still on the team. It's time to move on and start over.
Well,
Hate to
let's not
say it,
move on
but
from
it's
Sid.
time.
No, let's make sure we keep Sid around.
Okay, everybody but Sid.
I don't think Sid's gonna
Gino,
like
Gino,
that.
it's been fun.
don't think
Gino,
Sid's gonna
it's time to move on.
Whoa. Okay, you can say it, not me. Have you been paying attention to Buccos? We got two guys throwing hundo.
Yeah, I mean, every time I pay attention to them when they're doing well, they fall apart. Hey, I'm still scarred by 1992, NLCS,
Same,
Sid
brother.
Breen scores
Sid
from
Breen.
second. Fucking Barry Bonds
Thanks,
doesn't
Barry.
throw him out.
It's unbelievable.
30 years later, I'm still waiting.
Amen.
I'm
We
still
all
waiting.
are. We all are.
We just forgave Barry. Put him in the hole.
We are currently down 8-0 on Paul Skeens' birthday.
Oh, well, there we go.
What?
It's okay.
He's not pitching.
He
He's not
pitches
pitching.
the
He's not
afternoon
pitching. He's pitching
nightcap.
tonight.
Okay, so he is not. This is not.
No,
on
he
him.
pitches the next game.
That's a good sign that they're getting all those runs out of the way now for Skeens later.
Yeah, they're going to get cold bats whenever Paul Skeens walks up with the heat.
for sure.
So what do they have? They have Skeens for like 2 years, and then they'll play for the Yankees. Is that how it goes in
Correct.
baseball?
Florio.
Will it be 2 years?
Four,
Maybe three.
probably good 4 out of him.
No, Florio.
He's under contract.
It's brand
real
new
paycheck,
Pirates.
too.
These are the new Pirates. We got merch.
Yeah.
Stealing pitching ninja stuff.
They paid a
Sending
guy,
out as if it's theirs.
paid a guy $1 million bucks a year.
You know, I was shitting on the salary cap in the NFL earlier, but thank God they have a salary cap. Thank God the NFL has found a way where every team has a chance. You can put a bad team into a good team pretty quickly. In baseball, it feels like once you're sucked into that vortex and your team's not spending money, you got no chance at ever being anything.
Pirates are back though. Guy sold 7 Springs. You hear about that? Owner sold 7 Springs.
No.
A couple years ago.
Yeah, he's got.
Who owns it now? Does Bob Nutting still own it?
Yeah, he sold 7 Springs. He does not own 7 Springs anymore. I did hear the Tubing Hill has gotten much better since he has sold it. I heard that is good. But yeah, Nutting still owns the team, and he's making.
They own the newspaper. They own the newspaper in the town I grew up in. I used to deliver their newspaper once upon a time.
You're the problem.
You're a part of the.
I'm the problem.
Yeah, you should have wrote on there. Hey, don't be a fucking asshole whenever you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Mike Florio.
See you guys.
Thank you, Florio. All right, as we get the hell out of here on this glorious, it's a New World Wednesday. We can't help but say thanks to Lordo.
Thank you,
Love you, Lordo.
We'll go around the room here as everybody will address Lordo on what they learned from Lordo on the day. We'll start with you, AJ. AJ, what do you have to say to Lordo, who you have obviously gotten intimate with in the past at your house with Jack Johnson, brother-in-law being a Stanley Cup champion in the past. Anything to say to Lordo here as the hockey playoffs continue to march on?
Well, I mean, I love and respect everything that Lordo is, and I want to thank Lordo for allowing me to drink 5 to 6 beers out of the top of that sucker. But that thing is not light. You need multiple people to help you. We a good friend of the program, my good buddy, General Bobby Carpenter. He tried to slurp some beer out of there for a while, and we didn't have enough support underneath him. So, Lordo, love you, respect you.
Lordo. I hope you feel that love. Con Man's got something for you, Lordo.
Yeah, Lordo, just thank you for all
Can't hear you. You don't have
Yeah, Lordo, thank you for all the fucking sand and grit and jam you brought to the office today. You look so fucking good, especially in this lighting. And I'm going to fucking miss you, Lordo. I wish you could stay forever.
Hope you feel his love, Lordo. You could hear a little bit of that. Ty has something to say, you, Lordo, as current reigning.
Well, that's what I was going to say, Lordo. Technically, it was after, the Golden Knights had won the Stanley Cup championship, but I was, on the team. So I'm going to come take a closer look at you here, Lordo, and see if my name's etched on there because I was technically on the roster.
Right down here,
Yep.
the Golden Knights.
Exactly.
It is.
It's
but
all empty for either the
Make a wish.
Panthers or the Rangers or Dallas or Edmonton. Right here is the Vegas Golden Knights.
Exactly. So me and the fucking boys just want to say thank you, Lordo, and yeah, I'm gonna need to get a closer peek at that little plate down there in a second here.
Penguins and Red Wings right above it.
Shut up.
Good eye.
Right there at the top, Super Mario. Your name's not on there, Ty.
You sure?
Yep, certain. Just look through it.
I'll double check.
No, I triple checked. It's not on there.
I'll have to get some eyes on it myself.
Nope,
I don't know.
my eyes got LASIK pretty good.
You might be yanking my chain though, so I'm gonna need to get over there and kind of examine Lordo and see if
Not bopping your meat at all.
we'll see.
Right down at the bottom, you're not on.
You sure?
Yep, it's a damn shame. I don't like it. We gotta talk to Mira. Mira, where do we? Is there a comment box? It's like what we.
Yeah, right
What
on
was
top.
that Zamboni ride for then?
No kidding.
That was this.
That was this season.
Yeah,
Right.
because he won the
Exactly.
Lordo. That's why he got to do
Like
it.
coronation almost.
Sounds
Well-
like you were fed some mumbo jumbo, Ty.
Sounds like
Yeah,
it was fed.
it
some
is
mumbo
starting to
jumbo.
sound like a bit of mumbo jumbo.
Town Diggs, anything to say to Lordo? Obviously, a trophy that is very well known around Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Lordo, my Lordo. I've seen you 5 times in my lifetime. Come to sweet home. One time in person, I shared a drink with you at Mario's Southside Saloon, and it was delicious. And I miss those times, and I wish you come back home. Just come back home, Lordo.
I don't know if that's going to happen.
You've been
Never.
gone.
Canadian accent? Is that Canadian accent?
It's a Lordo. It's
South
a Lordo.
African,
It's a Lordo.
Southern, and Canadian. Yeah,
Pittsburgh.
It's my Lordo. That's how I talk to Lordo.
yeah, little Yinzer. He knows. Lordo knows.
Yeah, understands better.
Lordo's heard you before. Pac-Man, anything to say to Lordo? Obviously, you are a massive Las Vegas Golden Knights fan as well.
Yes.
Yeah, Lordo, just get back to Vegas. Everything happened in Vegas stays in Vegas.
But not Lordo.
Lordo fucking knows.
Lordo knows. They actually gave him a good wash whenever he left Vegas.
I can't imagine what fucking Wild Bill did with that thing.
Oh, Jackie Aces. Think about Jackie Aces.
Stoner.
Stoner did say it had a bit of a fucking runaway with this thing. It was a bit of a
Gong
gong
show.
show. He said both, yeah.
D-Bud, I know you refused to touch Lordo, which is an embarrassment, but anything to say to Lordo that hung out with us today here?
Lordo, great to see you. I expect to see you soon. We got close last year, but I know you were just waiting in all your wisdom to come back on our 30th anniversary of the program. Been around.
Yeah. Thank you. Wow.
Yeah. 30. Can't wait to see you here. Down to Sunrise again.
Hockey Town.
Love you, Lordo.
Foxy, this thing obviously took a couple visits to Detroit back whenever they weren't wearing helmets and playing hockey. Anything to say to Lordo?
Well, you said visits. Those weren't visits, Pat, because I feel bad for Lordo because Lordo has a home. And he hasn't been to his home in quite some time.
They got
And if you were
$4,000
thinking,
tickets up there.
how do we? Where would Lordo live? He would live in a place called Hockeytown, and Hockeytown is Detroit, Michigan. So I know Lordo has been very, very sad for quite some time at this point. So I just need you to get back home, Lordo. Get back to Hockeytown.
Did you get that? Lordo got that.
Yep.
He could hear you.
All right, good.
You want Lordo says back? Fuck you, Foxy. Holy shit. That wasn't me.
Wow.
No, I heard it.
Lordo didn't
Lordo
say that.
speaks.
Lordo, that's what Lordo
The
said.
only thing Lordo said all day.
Zito, obviously, since Hosa left town, you guys had no shot. Everything the Chicago
Oh, we've
Blackhawks-
had that many, many times. I cannot wait for Mr. Bedard to put that right over his head in the next couple of years.
That's your message to Lordo?
It didn't feel like a message.
You're coming back home, baby.
Well, now everybody's saying it's home. I mean,
You do it in Spanish?
Guys, I did.
can you speak Spanish to Lordo?
See, come home.
Okay. That sounded
Okay.
You understand
That was English.
Can you translate that?
That was it.
He understood.
Porquito?
Look, here's Lord, I guess, is male.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to be the one that's deciding the protocol.
No way.
No way.
Lordo's
Come on. Not me.
Stanley Cup.
Yeah, you're right.
What are you saying?
I've never met a woman named Stanley.
What about
I
Lord?
have.
I don't
Thank
think
you, AJ. That's Ohio.
What's her last name?
Swami Samsonite.
Speaking of Cup, Nick, anything to say to Lordo here? I got the earpiece up. So.
Thank you, Pat. Yes, Lordo, it's been an absolute treat to see you raised above our great players' heads 5 times in the city of Pittsburgh, and we hope to see it again someday soon. It's almost more than all of your guys' teams combined in the room here, so it's pretty sweet.
That's
good to see you again, my friend. Thank you.
Almost, he said almost. To get rid of you guys, it's almost.
Fair.
Speaking of a team that's a bunch of losers, Texas hockey, anything to say?
Thank you for joining us today, Lordo. It does feel like 99. I know you feel it too. So you have fun in Texas soon.
We're gonna party like it's 1999. I'm not allowed to pick it up, but I am allowed to.
About Mitt.
We're not letting Mitt talk much. That's been a new decision.
To Lord
What do you
Stanley's
mean?
Cup.
What happened? Why?
Yes. I just think that's
what?
probably the right move.
That decision's been coming for a long time.
That decision's been made.
It was a damn good one.
It was. If he doesn't talk,
Good run, Mitt.
If he doesn't
Good
talk
run.
or do anything, he might be on Amazing Race next year.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
we just need him to stay out of his own way, and sometimes that's a decision that just has to be made for somebody. Yeah. And congrats to Mitt, we made that decision for him. Just staying out of his own way.
All right.
Lordo gets it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lordo's seen the evolution of Mitt. Believe me. Sweet shirt today. What's going on, Mitt?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's smart, man.
It's fucking yeah.
Respect, Lordo.
It's smart, man. Don't put me on a mic or near any buttons. Smart.
Yeah.
Ottawa, right here, versus Brandon, 1904.
Oh, Brandon was a
Fucking
good
Brandon,
team.
Ontario.
Here's 1905, Ottawa versus Dawson. Here's 1904, Ottawa versus Wanderers.
It's a different league.
Here's 1904, Ottawa versus Marlborough.
Marlboro, Matt? Oh, yeah. Marlboro is a tough squad.
So what is the top? Do we know what the hell? Where's Mira?
Those are the first ones.
Mirror.
Was that the NHL?
Three 1904s. 1904, 1904, 1904, 1905.
They legitimately might have played 3 seasons.
At the top, here, Fox, at the top.
Yeah. And there's
Yes.
6 teams.
So that's 1903 there.
Is that Montreal?
And then there's 1904, 1904, 1904, 1905.
See the Victoria Cougars on there,
I'd say
1925.
Milwaukee's best.
The original hockey town.
1925?
We know where old fuckers go to retire.
Where's that?
South Florida, baby.
Yeah, because didn't they say last year now they take off the top, but once the bottom is filled, they take like the top layer off, send it to the Hall of Fame, and move everything up.
Man, we got to keep adding.
Or just like
Why don't you just make it
slice the
bigger?
top
Yeah.
off because none of it
Add another
matters
thing.
before.
Oh.
1975 or so.
And then just drop the cup down.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh no, you can't drop the cup.
You can't. What if your grandpa played on a team like in 1940 and won the cup?
Then you got
Vancouver.
He's probably dead.
you got to go to the Hall of Fame. And
Well,
see
it's your
it.
grandpa. You're proud of him.
You got to go to the Hall of Fame and see it.
Yeah.
Chris Jericho's dad won a cup, I think.
Hell yeah, he did.
Vancouver here is defeated Seattle in 1917.
The Supersonics?
The score was 1-0.
A great game.
They even had score on here. 1927 here, Ottawa Senators. 1926, 1925 right here, Victoria Cougars.
There it is. The original hockey town, boys. Never forget it.
All right.
I don't think this little fucking piece of metal right here says that.
Hey,
I don't think that's what I saw.
check the history books, brother.
I don't think that. I
The
mean,
orig-
I'm pulling out the monocle or magnifying glass to find it. I don't think that's where Hockey Town is.
Well, I wouldn't say it on there for Detroit either or Pittsburgh. So.
Well, it says it for Pittsburgh.
Well,
so
definitely
all
not
over the fucking
Pittsburgh.
thing.
Said it right there.
Because there's only one
Pittsburgh's
hockey
all
town.
over the place.
Up the lower, perhaps.
Yeah, well, we didn't exist here. Sorry.
Well, I mean, that's the thing about Hockey Town, right?
It's a shame you can't pick it up to see the bottom and see where it's made in.
It's not China.
Oh. I don't think. Shoot Canada.
Mira, where's it made?
Probably.
Mira!
It might be Toronto.
Hey, Mira. You did a great job.
Oh, yeah, Mir.
Mira, where is this made?
Okay.
In England?
I can't believe we let the Brits touch
That's
this.
fucking Canada's fault,
It's
man.
coming
That's
home.
Canada's fucking fault.
Look how beautiful this thing is. Now we got to think, the English. That stinks. Montreal, though.
Yeah.
Is the hub.
It was spun.
So
Oh, yeah,
quick,
Montreal is great.
quick research. Before 1912, you could challenge for the cup and defend it at any time. So that's why there are multiple winners.
Like a knighthood?
That's the coolest thing of all time.
Dude, Ottawa
bring that back.
just took down all comers here. in
Challenge you to the
1904.
cup. Come on.
1904. Marlborough said we want some.
Just one game, not a series?
Winnipeg said we want some. Winnipeg said they wanted some.
Oh, is that why it's 1-0?
Winnipeg, Ottawa takes on Marlborough. 1904. This is just the most tried championship in the history of hockey. The Wanderers take on Ottawa.
Everybody wanted a piece.
Brandon wanted a piece of Ottawa. And then in 1905, guess who won again? Ottawa won again. They beat Dawson. Then they take on Kendra. Oh, Kendra was fucking coming.
Kendra was tough.
Good team.
These individual people, like did Brandon just put together a team?
Was that Jack
It's like it's like TST.
Yeah.
It's like TST. Anybody can put a team
And
together.
Kendra was like, "Fucking Brandon is gonna get a team together. I'm gonna get."
Fun fact about that: Kendra is actually sister of.
Brando.
Mira's saying, yeah. Oh, Kenora.
Kenora is so it's not Kendra.
Writing is so tiny on there.
That's a fucking D.
So the size there might be on there.
That is a D. I don't know if we know.
Kenora.
I'm certain that's a D. Kenora should feel disrespected.
Who does the inscription? That's a lot of
Who's
pressure.
the
on you
artist,
if you-
Mira?
If you're doing it.
Who's doing the? Louis Saint Jacques. Merci beaucoup.
Kenor's a beautiful city in Ontario.
Yeah, well, the cup says fuck it. Kendra's the name.
Don't care.
Straight on one side, round on the other.
Yeah, that's a D where I come from.
D.
They're doing it in Montreal. Though. It's a different
I was going to say
language.
French Canadians. You never know.
That's
Also,
crazy.
back then,
Early
who know?
1900s.
They even knew how to spell.
They didn't give a fuck.
It's true.
Well,
What? Is it?
spell. They couldn't spell in the 1900s,
No.
Con?
Well, this is a different
I don't
language.
know.
Remember,
Well,
Montreal.
who decided how anything was spelled anyway?
World War II.
They did a lot in the 1900s, as we've noticed today. On
Remember?
the World Wednesday.
Remember
Yeah, we
AJ?
did. Yeah. Shout out to Josh Gibson, by the way. Best player of all time.
Some people forget. We don't.
Not on this program.
We don't.
We have real journalism today.
Oh,
Okay. Yes, we did.
Shout out to Russell Dorsey stopping by. He's been on for about a week and a half, you said?
Yep.
It's not that long. With
February, yeah.
I thought legit this was.
A year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah, me too. That's why I said
was coming
week,
down the
month.
pipe.
What's going on? He said this has already happened. He basically said this has already been decided. We're just kind of now announcing it. So,
Okay.
yeah,
That's
Put the story together in about a week and a half. Yeah.
Russell's the guy.
Yeah.
We appreciate him taking time. This thing is beautiful. Thank you for hanging out today, Lord.
Hell yeah, Lordo.
Thank you, Lordo.
Hell yeah.
Obviously, you're not real, so we got to thank Mira for making the trip to Indiana.
Thank you, Mira.
Hey, Mira, let them know that Indianapolis would be a great home to an NHL team. Great home to an NHL team. Maybe you come. Yes, let's do that. I'm doing it right here. Yep. Smart.
You also haven't fully spoken to Lordo.
Oh, yeah.
He knows. I've already talked to him.
How'd they decide on the design of Lordo?
They said, "What's great looking?"
Yeah.
And then
A cup. I need a fucking cup for sure.
I'm calling the owner of the Utah Soak. It's not their name. I know.
I mean, that's pretty
That'd be-
good.
That's the first
Utah
time we've
soap.
done that one. That
Yeah.
one's sweet.
Stop at the K.
Pretty cool. Hey, we're live.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but I'm standing with something that you can only dream of, pal. What's that? You know what that is?
Bro, that's the cup.
Yeah, you're damn right it is, Ryan. Yeah, it is.
What if you
This,
didn't know?
this is the. Yeah, I'm happy you knew that answer.
Whoa, it's that silver thing.
Me too.
I'm happy. I'm very
We're
happy.
gonna fill that full of Diet Mountain Dew and all sorts of stuff.
Could you imagine the soaking that's going to take place with this thing
Jeez,
So-
bro.
when it gets to Utah?
Bro, I've seen that before. I've never been. How'd you get that there?
Well, Mira brought it. Mira's a keeper of the cup from the NHL.
Oh, okay.
It's
All right.
on a little bit of a tour, before the Stanley Cup Finals, and we got a chance to see it. I'm allowed to touch it. You now are at the point of your life where you're not allowed to touch this thing because you own a team. You know that?
Hey, bro, is there a security person with it?
Yeah, Mira, right over there.
Let's see. Bring that person in. I want to meet. I've only heard.
Fucking earn
This
it,
guy.
Ryan.
This
Okay,
fucking guy.
why don't you guys win? Hey, well, how far along are we on the team name thing?
Bro, we're coming. We're coming.
Like soaking?
Yeah, they are.
Confederation will be out soon.
Okay.
Of course they are.
All right. We can't wait to see what team you. What is the
Goal.
early favorite? Do you know?
Well, I think our four. Like we've got our four. I think.
Okay.
Mammoth's up there. I think Yeti's up there. I think a couple other ones are up there. It should be good.
Okay.
Soak is the soak.
He didn't make the cut, bro. I'm sorry. You're gonna have to tell the boys.
What about the Black Diamonds?
Yeah, Black
I
Diamond.
know they took that survey 1,000 times just trying to get it up. It wasn't enough.
No, we
Well, they actually wouldn't fill in their emails.
Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, smart play by.
Do they have email?
Oh, man.
All right,
Mormons with the
okay,
jokes, huh?
Hey, good luck winning Lordo, okay? Good luck winning Lordo.
Hey, quite the run there in Indy.
Yeah, you're damn right. All right. I'll see you soon, brother.
Okay, see you, bro.
Bye. In his office.
What a guy.
Probably in the middle of 4 calls. He's a billionaire, self-made, multiple time. And now we just make jokes about how his religion doesn't let anybody actually bone.
He's excited to meet Mira, though.
Hell yeah.
He does want to meet you. Mira, that Ryan Smith, owner of the Utah yet to be named hockey team, said he thinks you're a legend. Can't wait to meet you someday. Yep.
Oh, yeah. She's like, no.
I agree. To hell with
No chance that
All right,
cup's
let's get
going
out
to
of here.
Utah.
Boys, great work today. Pac, you want to do a giveaway here? Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love it. He fully thinks about it before he answers.
Well, he doesn't know if he wants to put himself in a position or not. You know, it's up to you. Hey, take your time. On you. Would you?
You can drain a shot.
What are you thinking about doing?
I'll drain a shot.
Okay.
What shot?
Basketball, football.
What did you think when you
Drain shot. What shot did you think it was? Basketball.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. We'll do it. Perfect. We'll do it. You want to use W ball like your Caitlin Clark, or you want to use NBA ball like your Luka?
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
Jay Tatum.
I like that. Jay Tatum. Jalen Brown. What type of shot do you want to do? You go from the corner? You want to do up front? What are you thinking? Foul shot? Then you only get one.
Oh. I'll take the foul shot.
Oh.
Okay.
Clutch free throw? One shot to rule them all.
Only got one. Good luck. Great shoes, obviously. Fit is phenomenal.
Yep.
Fit is phenomenal. All the smoke available on all the platforms right now with the official Pac-Man Jones and Jody Breeze. At the line here, all Pac's got to do is knock it down. And if he does, 20 people will win $500 on this Lord Stanley Cup.
Wow.
Never.
What a shot. What a shot. Never a doubt. So much confidence. Download all the smoke. Go ahead and play it. That was a great shot.
Smell me?
That was phenomenal. People are missing foul shots all the time.
Yeah.
Bear.
Well done, Pac.
Way to go.
Pac.
Boy, Pac,
Never
man.
doubt. Never doubt.
95% career high school free throw shooter.
Wow. Like J.J. Redick in college. All right, we're out of here.
Hit the two to win the championship game.
2 straight?
Yeah.
Should have never doubted. Not that I did.
Ain't no thing.
But I'm saying there was a little bit of intensity.
Only one shot.
One
That's
shot.
all you need. Don't miss your chance to blow, because opportunity comes once in a lifetime. Yo,
Lordo.
Smell me?
Lordo.
It's a shame M can't afford those season tickets to the Lions game.
Marshall Mathers?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, a bump in $7,000 is quite a large leap whenever it comes to season ticket prices.
Over double what you normally. So I assume some tickets are 50,000. Are they 125 now?
They were giving out $4,000 season tickets. I think that's the bigger story.
Yeah,
How do we not cover that ever?
That was every game. You got every game for $4,000.
Two preseason games. You got to be sitting on the shitter? Like, is that a toilet seat?
At the top.
Anyways, we don't need to talk about that shit because it's a new day in Detroit. Yes, it is.
That's right.
That's what winning does.
That is what winning is.
Well, you guys won this a few times, and then what happened?
All the Red Wings fans show up. The Red Wings fans love the Red Wings.
How about the Red Wings themselves?
Well, I mean,
Lordo's
coming home soon. That's all that matters.
Might go there before it goes to Pittsburgh, I will say.
Definitely.
Yeah.
No doubt about that.
We're rebuilding. Yzerman, we trust.
You guys are like 2 years behind what the Red Wings were like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You're wrong.
I don't think so.
All right, we're out of here. AJ, great work today. Lordo, great work. You did great. Honestly, my message to you is that you're phenomenal. Okay? Don't ever forget it. Don't let your light stop shining. I know how many parties you're about to be in and through, and that liver's got to be pretty fucked.
Yeah.
With how many good times, especially with the hockey boys. The hockey lads.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Gong shows.
It's gone. It's a runaway.
Yeah.
Every single time. So keep doing it. Keep leading the way. We appreciate you. Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to do it, but you are the father. Unlike Mark Davis. You are the father. 2 Lordos, 1 pick. What a dream. What a day. Can't wait to see the Florida Panthers win this bad boy this year.
Wow. Looks so good in elbow room.
Can't wait to see the Dallas Stars.
Here we go, Pats.
Can't wait to see the Edmonton Oilers. How about the New York Rangers? That's what this thing does.
That's right.
Yeah.
Changes lives, changes moods. Changes dreams. We appreciate you. All right, we'll be back tomorrow. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life, like our friends at Dude Wipes. Seriously, saved my life this morning. Thank you, Dude Wipes.
Love you, Dude Wipes.
Thank you,
I was
Dude
going
Wipes.
through it this morning. I was in the middle of a couple battles during a commercial break this morning. Dude Wipes was the tag team partner that I didn't even know that I needed in the time that I did. It's a bath for your ass.
That's right.
It's Dude Wipes. All right. We're in this thing together. Team on me.
Hand in, Lordo. Hand down.
Thank you. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3. Team. Good morning.